Back to this fucking show. It's still trucking along. It's been 4 years, 5 years. I don't fucking know. I think 4 years. Who knows? We're crafting a chat. It's Kevin. It's Adam. Genesis is late. Desinoto is late. It ain't the first time. It won't be the last.
If anything, it's a trend. Expect it next week.
Yeah, you know what? You know what gets me on it though.
I'm ready.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what really gets me.
What really grinds your gears?
What you know what really grinds my gears, Kevin? I'll tell you what really grinds my gears. This man texts us and says, got home from work late, gonna be late to the podcast by 30 minutes, I'm sorry. At 10:08 p.m. His work closes at 8 p.m. So, unless he's staying after to have an affair or something, he's staying after too long.
Oh.
So if he's staying after, how long is he staying after? An hour? 2 hours? Did he just get home at 10:08? Also, what's he got to do? Because most of the time when he does this, he hops on and he eats. So, like, he's got a shower? Is that he thinks he's going to take a 52-minute long shower? Because that's not the case. Because at 10:22, he's texting again, saying LMAO. It makes no sense. I get being late, but if you have a dumb reason, don't specify why you're going to be late. Just say I'm going to be late. That's all you got to do. Just be like, hey, I'm not going to be there. Desinoto, he was like, I'll be slight late. I think he meant slightly late, but like we will not judge that because he just said he'll be slight late. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he had a medical emergency. I don't care. It's his business, and I can't judge him for that. You know what I mean? Genesis, trash human. Unforgivable.
Oh, okay.
Completely unforgivable. Banned from the show.
Interesting. Okay.
Absolutely banned. Until he hops on. Then his ban is lifted.
Oh.
What do we want to talk about?
I don't know. What do we want to talk about?
I don't know. Before the two fucktards get here? What can we talk about?
Yeah. I don't know. There's got to be something.
There's 10 minutes of Star Wars Outlaws gameplay that came out.
I did see that. I just haven't watched it yet. How is it?
I watched like half of it, and I was like, yeah, this is about what we saw.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see more.
Yeah, I don't really need to see a lot more either. I just want to play.
Yeah, I just want to know what it's like. Like, I just needed to come out. I saw a lot of comments being like, this kind of looks unfinished, but like, not like bad unfinished, but like unfinished as in, this might break a lot when you're playing. Like, it'll be playable, but also like, a year from now, they're going to be like, this is the complete version because we've patched all the explosions to look like actual explosions instead of pixels or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. The real world is wild. We don't have to talk about that. Probably shouldn't look at it at all, honestly. Just let it go by. Horror movies have been apparently doing well.
In what regard?
It's a good year to be horror. Longlegs is supposedly good.
Oh.
There's some other serial killer thing that's supposed to be really good coming out. That's supposed to like rival Longlegs. Then you got freaking Smile 2 is coming out later. Can't wait. See that.
Very excited.
You got Trap. I don't know if that classifies as horror or not, but
it looks suspenseful.
Yeah.
I like the actor in it. I don't like the director.
Yeah, the director. Yeah,
Hit or miss.
is.
Very hit or miss, M. Night. Movies, they're coming out,
Yeah, they're coming out.
Can
I
confirm.
can't remember. You remember what the hell the other goddamn serial killer movie was? Yeah, Long Legs is supposed to be like really good. Maybe it's a movie we watch. I don't know. Is it on streaming yet? Probably not.
I will say, Long Legs, I know of it. I've seen some like trailers and stuff. Hate the one actress in it. I think she's terrible in everything. Um,
Oh, okay,
I've
okay.
seen her in three things. She's my least favorite part in all three of those. Well, she's my least favorite part in two of those things. The third thing was the second Independence Day, and that movie's just terrible in general, so I don't really blame her. Um,
Oh, okay.
she's in The Guest, if you've ever seen The Guest, with Dan Stevens, and it's a pretty fun, wild movie. She's in that.
I
She's
haven't seen
she's the
that.
worst
Okay.
actress in it, but she's not terrible. She's not like the worst. I'll say she's not like the worst. Like, oh, I fucking hate her, but she's clearly the
Right.
weakest of the cast.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and then the other thing I saw her in, I forget what it was called. I did not care for her in it either. Hmm. It Follows,
Curious
maybe?
about Afraid. Oh, it follows. I did not like that movie at all.
Yeah, she's in that. Yeah, I don't like her in that. She's the main one in that, basically.
Mm.
So,
What do you think of Afraid? Have you seen that trailer?
no, I don't know anything about that.
It's like a AI that starts fucking around with the house, like an AI security system.
Oh, Afraid.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of this. Oh, David DeMulchin is in it. I like him. Everybody likes him.
It's a Blumhouse. It could be good.
That's the thing about Blumhouse. They're either really good or they're good enough.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
looks like this could go either way. So, but like for the low price, let's stream it. 100% I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know. AI, I don't know. Just not an AI person.
That's fair.
I'm not, I'm so like, for some things I'm not against it, and for other things I'm not like, I mean, I'm not for it for a lot of things, but like, I don't know. I just don't care for AI.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just be left behind.
Oh
So
no,
I
I
saw
can't leave you
this,
behind.
saw this funny, text chat. It was a TikTok, and it was
Uh huh.
somebody talking to Chat GPT, and they were
Oh God.
asking how many R's are in strawberry, and Chat GPT was like, "There's 2 R's in strawberry," and they're like, "No, there's 3 R's in strawberry." And then they had Chat
Uh,
GPT break down the word,
uh
and they're
huh.
like, "Yeah, no, there's only two." And the person was like, "I'm being gaslit. I don't understand why you're saying there's only two. There's three. There's clearly three." And then they had it break it down and then assign a number to each letter that came out. And then they're like, "Okay, how many R's did you find?" "I found 3 R's." "Okay, how many R's are in strawberry?" "Two." "What? What do you mean?" And they just kept getting madder and madder. It was so funny. And that's kind of where I'm at with AI right now, because I think a lot of
Yeah,
it's
it's
funny.
so
My
bad.
my work, I'll say this right now. A year ago, my CEO came on the like, we have like monthly meetings or whatever, and he
Uh-huh.
talked about AI, and he's like, AI is untrustworthy. I'm not a fan of AI. We'll probably not use AI. And then over the past like 2 months, they've integrated AI into so many things.
Hmm.
And they're like, it helps improve processes. They recently lost like a bunch of customer data because
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
AI accidentally just gave it away.
Nice.
Um, it literally it was a banking client's information, and it gave it to
Good.
another banking client. and they're like, "This is our competitor." What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why you don't do shit like that.
Yeah, there's just a lot where they're like, "Oh, we like AI kind of to do some stuff." And then somebody asked him, like, "Do you think since you're using AI to replace some of the employees, do you think the AI will ever replace you?" And he was like, "No, my job is complicated."
Yeah, okay.
And it was very
AI is
funny.
most likely to replace you, my guy. All you do is think something it's really good at.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I've seen iRobot. You know what I mean?
I don't. I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't?
No.
Ahead of its time. I keep seeing articles that call it ahead of its time. I've always said it's ahead of its time. Great movie.
All right, all right.
Will Smith before he slapped somebody. So, like a 2004 film. I think it's based on a
Slap me.
Philip
Yeah,
K.
I know
Dick
about it.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's honestly pretty cool. I like the movie,
All
and
right.
like there's scenes I like a lot. So it's got
Okay.
it's
Okay.
it deals with AI and robotics and stuff too.
We gotta
Also,
watch a movie together again.
the old dude from Babe is in it.
Oh, okay.
Walter Cromwell or something. I think his name is. Yeah, we do gotta watch a movie.
Walter Cronkite.
No, not Walter. Not what? Walter. No, Walter Cronkite ain't acting. Is he alive? Did he die yet?
I don't
Let's give that a Google.
know.
Walter Cronkite. He died in 2009.
All right.
So he could run for president here soon.
He could.
Really could. Oh, he died July
Oh,
17th, 2009. Just past his
nice.
anniversary of his death.
Look at that.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he's way dead. Dan Rather was his successor on CBS. Dan Rather's not even gone here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Good times.
Is it? Was it?
I think so.
There are better times than now, I suppose.
No, people were mad at Dan Rathers for being too liberal. So literally
Well,
clicked on it and I was like, no, same problems back then. I'm good. Same problems, just louder now.
a little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
Uh huh.
Yeah, the Bills are making it happen at them, right?
Like the football team?
Yeah, man.
How are
You
they
don't know
making it
that song?
happen?
Come
No,
on,
I have
bro.
no idea what that is.
All right, never mind. We'll move on.
I don't know anything about football. Since football's not on, I never hear anything about it.
Well,
Except when
Evo
somebody's like, a
2024
player
took place.
sucks.
Yeah.
I saw Evo 2024 took place. I saw the one guy who won.
Yep. That's about as much as I know.
And people were like, we like this guy who won. Because of something. And I was
From
like,
the
okay.
U.S., I think.
That wild. Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
America, #1 at everything. Don't look into that.
Yeah. You don't look at it at all.
Don't yeah. Hey. Don't
How about
fact
the
check.
Olympics coming up? Let's talk about that.
What about
How do you feel about all our athletes here
I'll tell you what,
swimming in
right?
the frickin' Seine?
It's clean now. It's clean now. It's much cleaner. The mayor of Paris has been very vocal about this. I do follow. For some reason, one of the things I like to follow is environmentalism. So the mayor of
Uh-huh.
Paris has had literally her whole campaign was like, I'm cleaning this fucking river and you French bastards are gonna like it. And everybody was like, that river was so gross. Like it was horrible. It's just gotten
hmm
worse and worse. They were like, they literally were cleaning it. They were pulling out bicycles. They were pulling out cars. They pulled out industrial waste.
Oh.
They were pulling out so much shit. And she was so happy that it was clean. She actually like did so many interviews. She learned in English how to say, I've cleaned a river. That's how excited she was to say like
Wow.
my administration was big in cleaning this river. Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
president is just taking liberties away from the people. Whatever, it's not important. Don't look into that. But like,
Gotta love Macron.
hey, Macron. Um,
Macaroni.
macaroon, I believe it's pronounced. Um, but yeah, no, the Seine, big fan of that river finally getting clean. I don't know if I'd swim in it. I'll tell you that right now.
hmm
because I saw what was in that river. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, I
A lot of
know.
people died in that river in the 40s.
Yep. Let's
So,
go mob.
so
I
I'm
mean,
glad
what?
it's
Huh?
clean, and I'm glad.
You
I,
said let's go mob.
yeah, don't worry about that.
Sorry.
But yeah, I do not care for the Olympics. I think they're stupid.
Oh
Oh.
I
wow.
always see a meme where it's like, let somebody average go through the games first, so I can get a general idea of how special these people are. Um,
Mm.
and I find that hilarious, and I think that would just be really funny. Like if we did like a fake Olympics where it's just average people running in the Olympics or something, like doing whatever the games are, just so we have an idea of how quick the other people are.
Oh my
Um,
god, it'd be like the jump all over again.
yeah, no, it wouldn't be like the jump. I don't think anybody would get hurt with this. um,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Average person does the skeleton.
okay, there's a couple things. Yeah, okay, yeah. No bobsledding or that's Winter Olympics. I think we're okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I will say, never cared for the Olympics. I think it's a waste of time, money, and effort. And if you ever look into any city who hosts the Olympics, they go, wow, I'm so excited to do this because it's going to bring such money in tourism. And then they spend like $400 million to like upgrade their city. And then
Yeah.
everything that they upgrade eventually is abandoned because they only need it one time. And then it just goes to waste. And then they have a huge issue like with like debts and everything falls apart. It's absolutely wild how every city is tricked into
Yep.
doing this. Um, I will say though, when I was younger, I would always watch gymnastics, and every year I've always watched gymnastics because
Okay.
for some reason when those little people are flipping all over the place, I'm like, I don't know how they're doing this. It's magic.
Uh huh.
So
It
big
is. Yeah.
Simone Biles fan over here. You know what I mean?
Why'd you
Yep.
call them little people?
But I don't know if you've ever
In
seen any of
general,
them.
they
They're
are.
all like 4'8" or like
Yeah.
5'1".
Oh,
They're
They're
quite
oh,
tall.
very like
okay.
the women especially very tiny. Some of the men also super tiny. Some of the men are like I think the tallest one has to be like 5'7". Like
Yeah. Well,
they're,
the taller
they're
you are, the harder it is.
yeah, the short kings and queens out there flipping like nobody's business. Like Michaela Maroney, she crushed it in like 2012 or whatever. Like, but I mean Simone Biles, she had to back out last time because of mental health, but this time I believe she's there, so that's pretty exciting.
Mm.
I think the rest of the Olympics, I don't know, it's garbage. It's a waste of time, money, and effort.
I like curling, but
Oh,
that's
you
not
know,
in this Olympics.
yeah, it's not in this one.
Curling is such a fun game to watch, dude. Oh my god.
I've
It's like
seen
the
curling.
pros version of shuffleboard.
Yeah, I've seen like professional curling on TV before, and I've seen YouTube clips. You know, you just fall in a
Hmm.
rabbit hole every so often,
Oh yeah.
and I get the appeal. It's not something that I'm actively seeking out, but then all of a sudden you just watch somebody sweeping as hard as they can, and
Hmm.
like it's like, well, holy shit! And then you see somebody actually do something, you're like, I
Hard,
don't, yeah,
hard.
yeah. And then they're bouncing
Whoa,
off
whoa,
others, and I'm
whoa,
like, oh
whoa.
fuck.
I always love that too. They'll be like, hard, hard, hard. Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
yeah. It's not like they can slow it down. Like some of them look like they're trying to like gain telekinetic powers to guide the fucking
Oh yeah,
curling thing. What is that thing
especially after
called?
they
I don't even know.
the rock.
The Rock. Thank you. How could I
They
forget Dwayne?
throw multiple poundages of Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
But like there's once you like learn a lot more about curling, it gets so interesting because like you have a limited number of rocks of each weight and shit, and like they all behave differently, and you can like spin it on the ice by using the freaking brooms. Wild, freaking nuts game.
I will say, I'm just not a competitive sports person, literally at all. I find
Okay, okay.
almost no sport entertaining to watch. Like I like playing golf, and I haven't played golf in like 8 years because I'm never
Yeah.
craving. I want to go play golf, and I've watched one golf game and I wanted to blow my brains out like a polar bear watching Al Gore speak. Like
Oh.
I just that's a Bo Burnham song reference. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
I just don't care for sports 99% of the time. Gymnastics is the rare exception because people are flipping. I just find
You know
every
what?
other sport I'm like
Oh, what?
they're you know the robots when I don't know if is football still on Fox like on that
Yes.
channel? Do they
Uh-huh.
still do the robots?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Every time I saw those robots, I'm like, I'd rather watch this. I'd rather watch a football game where robots are just fucking destroying each other. I basically want Transformers and footballs combined. If that's an anime, I'm hooked on anime. You know what I mean? Like
Is it Transformers and what?
in
Football.
football. If it was literally like I've never understood why the Madden NFL games never partnered with them and been like, hey, it's all robots now and you can just fucking crush each other. Like, why is that
I mean,
not
that
an
was
option?
NFL Blitz.
Well, yeah, okay, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong there. But yeah, sports I just don't care
But
for.
yeah.
Tennis I enjoy listening to because it's just and that I find that funny. Also, I like watching compilations of them getting so mad that they beat themselves with their racket
Oh
until
my
it's
God.
destroyed, and I go,
They get
wow.
so freaking mad.
And I just go, wow, this is crazy. Like, that's tolerated here. Like, I just imagine
Yep.
them just working like a regular job and then just getting mad and doing that and being like,
Mhm.
okay, we got to let you go. But in tennis, it's
Dude,
allowed.
we need some of the crazy ass sports to get in to the Olympics. Like I want freaking drone racing. That shit's fun as hell to watch. I want Omega Ball.
I don't know Omega Ball.
Let me make sure I have the right sport. I'm pretty sure Omega Ball is basically like 3-team soccer.
Oh. Make a real, like, Rocket League. I'll watch that, I guess. But
Oh,
it would be
Rocket League
hard.
would be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, 3 teams, 3 goals, 1 ball. Omega Ball.
Oh.
So the court is a circle.
I feel like the Olympics adds a new sport every so often. I feel like didn't skating just getting added, or they want skating added or something.
Probably.
There's
There's
always like
another
some
one
shit
too.
where they're like, oh, add this, and I'm like, sure, why not? Who cares? What do we even do this for anymore? This doesn't unite us.
True, it's true.
Some countries can't even participate.
There's another sport that's wild. Hold on, I'll look up the name. You can talk.
Tessinoda, what do you think about the Olympics? You watch them? You like them?
I don't watch it, but I mean, I guess it's necessary
Okay. What do you
to
mean?
showcase the superhumans on our Earth.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they have an outlet to show how talented they are.
Yeah.
Even though, again, I can't really appreciate what they're doing because I don't have any courses near me. I mean, I can understand that I clearly can't do those things, but at the same time, like, I need a base. Give me a base.
Yeah.
Tech ball. That's what it's
Something.
called.
Tech ball. Okay.
TEQ ball. It can be played singles or doubles. You use a soccer ball and a curved ping pong table. And I'm pretty sure like you can only kick it or something. It's forbidden to touch the ball with the same body part twice consecutively.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
This game is crazy. You watch people who like know what they're doing. Oh, the table is wild
Something.
too because like it's concave and the angle is toward the players. So like it gets some weird bounces going on off that table.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, interesting.
Something
Okay.
kind of related. The Asian games. Do you guys know what the Asian games are?
No.
No.
I think it's supposed to be like Asia's own Olympic type thing. Um, because there's plenty of athletes. But as of not last year, before last year, but last year, actually, I think it was okay. Well, anyway, last year, League of Legends was part of the Asian Games 2023. Um, and Korea won won the League of Legends tournament for that was part of it. Um, Little fun fact: my favorite player of all time, Faker, got military exemption. From how Korea employs like I don't know what the age is. I think it's like 20, 23 or something and up.
Mm-hmm.
You like have to do military service. So Faker was exempt from that because he had to practice for the Asia Games or take part in it as well. That was cool.
I sent a clip of a rally in tech ball. I forgot. There's no sides to the sport. So like you have like your side of this table, but you can freaking go anywhere in like the court. The only thing is like after X amount of hits, I think it's after like three or four, you have to have the ball hit your opponent's side of the table
Mm.
for it to like be back in play. It's freaking nuts. People are like flipping around, kicking shit, they're bouncing off their head, off their chest.
It's not what I expected it to look like, if I'm honest. You can go kind of anywhere, it looks like.
Yep.
So, very interesting. All right, well, Olympics. There you go. We're mid on the Olympics. I will say, um, I expect the USA to win every year because I
Yeah.
have that dumb American pride for some reason that no matter what we do, we're winners. So you know what I mean? Like for some reason.
Yep.
What else? What else we want to talk about until Genesis gets here?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't have to wait long.
there he is.
There he is.
Wait, he's actually like on time with his estimated ETA or his ETA.
Yeah. It's estimated time of arrival. Love that. Big fan. Are you here, Genesis?
Oh, I'm
Why aren't you
here.
speaking? We were waiting for you. We've just been sitting here in dead silence.
Well, sometimes I like to keep y'all on your toes. Just wondering when I'm gonna show up, when I'm gonna get here. That's what's going on. What's happening.
Wow.
What time did you get out of
Oh,
work?
9:15ish probably.
Why?
It was T-Mobile Tuesday today.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh. And
Uh-huh.
Doesn't
people
your
want to
store
come to the
close at
store even
8?
Every
after.
time Every
Yeah.
time you buy a T-Mobile, you get another one for free, and you got to eat them all.
Whenever you buy a T-Mobile.
Kevin, I don't really understand what that means.
And then you gotta eat them all.
You
I
eating a
apologize for the
store?
lateness. Definitely, I was late from work today. Had to eat, had to shower and everything before I hopped on. Obviously, so it was just I was late for everything, and then yeah, that's what happened. So where are we? Where are we leaving off now? Did we talk about what we played and everything, or have we
No.
just been sitting in absolute dead silence?
Dead silent. I mean, we talked about some things, but nothing. We didn't actually start the show like that.
All right, so everybody, welcome to another episode of Crafting a Chat. We are on episode 211, I believe.
Uh huh.
Okay. It is Tuesday, July. What
23rd.
the hell? Who the fuck? Okay, I don't know what the fuck that is. July 23rd. I have the normal crew here with me: Adam, Kevin, Destinoto, myself. I'm late. Destinoto's late. Adam and Kevin, thank you for being on time because,
How do you know we were on time?
well, because first of all, you wanted to fire me. Second of all, you asked why do we pay you. So I know you were on time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be
You
able
got
to
a
say
point.
that.
I rescind
I
that question.
I know I didn't say anything about firing you, or
Oh, no, I
or I
know
didn't
he
question why
didn't.
we
He
paid you
he
at
did.
all.
He did. He did. This guy.
Okay. Well, Kevin rescinds. I asked that question again.
Oh.
What?
Kevin, what was your
Oh,
question?
I don't remember. It was too long
Neither
ago.
do I.
all
It was
right.
so long ago.
So we are obviously half an hour late to starting the show, but
Yeah.
gentlemen, what did we all play last week? Adam, you want to go first?
No,
Oh, well, all right then.
didn't expect that,
Uh,
did you?
no, I didn't. I guess I'll go first. I finished my second playthrough of Stellar Blade. I am
Oh,
one trophy away from the platinum now. I need to finish my third playthrough, and then that's it. I should be good to go. Platinum, I'm gonna be real sad to leave that game behind. But I do need to play
behind. I get it.
FF7. Yeah. Oh yeah. I made that connection. You did. I do have to obviously play Rebirth, and I gotta go back and finish platinuming 16 and all that. So, um, I I played First Descendant with Daddy over there. We also played Streets of Rage 4. And Streets of Rage 4 is hard, although I did put it on hard difficulty, and I should have put it on normal because there's no block in that game, so that's hard to do. Um, First Descendant, we'll have her impressions on that later on, probably in the episode. Danny and I'll probably talk about what we thought initially. I think we've only played like maybe a couple of missions. It hasn't been that much. We played maybe like 2 hours last night. I don't think I played anything else. I'm trying to remember.
I don't even think we did an hour of that, but okay.
I thought it was like at least 2 hours. That no, that tutorial
No,
felt
because a
like it was
lot of.
forever.
Dude, I ran through the tutorial. The tutorial was stupid.
Uh,
Anyway, moving on.
I don't think I played anything else. I'm pretty positive I didn't play anything else. I didn't watch anything else. Uh, yeah, that's all I did. Kevin, what'd you do?
Oh man, what did I do? What did I do, man? What did I do? I played Last Epoch.
Mm-hmm.
I played I played Person with Genesis over here.
Mm-hmm.
Also played Streets of Rage 4 with Genesis over here.
Mm-hmm.
I played some Remnant 2. I played some Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
Wow, you've been
Uh
busy.
uh yeah, and I played No, that's it.
Okay, nice.
Oh,
Easy to
oh,
the point.
I also pushed Genesis off a boat in
Huh?
real life. Yeah,
Oh,
blacked out.
What?
Don't worry about it. You're fine now.
Okay. All right. All right, Adam, what'd you do?
Helldivers 2, probably. I think, pretty sure.
Did we play Helldivers 2? Maybe I might have forgotten that.
Yeah, I think we did over the weekend
Okay.
with your little brother.
Yeah, I might have forgotten that.
I also played it with what's his face.
Um,
Celery.
Celery. Played with
Celery.
Celery a little bit, not a lot. He's only on like once or twice a week at this point with that game. And then I don't think I played anything else. Pretty sure I didn't. 95% sure. Hold on, I gotta check. I don't remember, which is wild for me, you know. Fill time. Kevin, fill
You
time with
watch
a
anything
song.
good? You watch anything good? Huh?
Now, 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 now,
Oh
now, now.
man.
Bow,
Oh,
bow,
oh
bow,
okay.
bow, bow, now, now.
Wow, that made me want to go so much faster. Thank you, Desinoda. I appreciate that. Kevin, thank you for your question. Good. I'll answer it because I did not play anything else. I've been watching The Blacklist, the show with James Spader, Ultron
Ah
himself.
yes.
Um,
The black piece of paper.
no.
Yeah.
I've only watched 3 episodes. I'm going slow with it. I know I will eventually start to binge it, but I'm trying to watch other things first. I watched. I've been watching Make Some Noise. Nobody here has ever heard of that. That's okay. It's a funny show. Um, also watched more some Actually. Again, nobody's here heard of that, but we'll get over it. Thousand Dares. I watched a lot of that. If anybody has Dropout, you understand. What else did I watch? Mr. Ballin. Watched his video from Sunday. Wild. Genesis. If you haven't seen it, wild one. I was
I'm gonna
like,
be honest with you, I
damn.
have not seen that one yet.
It reminded me of you a little bit, like the story in it.
Really?
Not because it's
Take it.
about a brown family, but there's just elements where like we talked about some things, like when you first had a baby,
Uh-huh.
and it's a wild episode, wild, absolutely wild.
Really? Okay, I'll have to watch it definitely.
Yeah, highly recommend. What else? I watched the first episode of Shogun. Um, yeah, yeah. What a first episode. Really good. Honestly, probably by next week I will be mostly done with it. I'm gonna guess. Because I really liked the first episode, and I'm like, damn, I want to watch more. But then the podcast started. I guess I couldn't have showed up on time, and I could have got the second episode, but whatever. Yeah, Shogun, real good. Tom Softy, I forget his name, so I'm just calling him not Tom Hardy. So Tom Softy, he's really good in it. Like his character, the pilot, he's great. Real funny that the mayor from The Dark Knight is in it as Rodriguez. Didn't recognize him at first, so that was cool. Love Nestor Carbonell as the actor's name. Um, the violence in the show, wild. The budget of the show, absolutely wild.
Wild.
Yeah, just really liking it. Really liking it after that
Yeah.
first episode. Can't wait to watch more. Definitely will have a discussion with Desinoto after I finish that. So be prepared, Desinoto. Do you finish that, right? I think you finished that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I finally got around to it.
Nice.
Um so yeah. Oh, and then my mom watched Godzilla -1, based on my recommendation. So I caught a few
Oh.
scenes of that. Still really good. Still highly recommend to anybody. There's such great personality and character in that film. And also the dude should have been nominated for an Oscar and he wasn't. Bunch of shit, but still can't get over that the budget was $20 million for that movie. Fucking wild. That's it, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right, on to you, Desinoda. What would you do?
Oh. I watched some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I played anything. No. I should have played some more Elden Ring, but yeah, didn't get around to doing that. Um, let's see. Played some Fate in Azure Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Summer event is going on in Fate. You got a bunch of nice swimsuit servants. Good stuff. Good stuff. Um, a bunch of rolling in game. It was okay. Wasn't too bad. And Yeah, then I watched some stuff. Let's see here. I posted in the chat um, uh, this one show called Them on Prime. It reminded me a lot of all the Mike Flanagan shows I've seen on Netflix. Just like the longer shots, the really nice like transitional shots, um, and the whole like vibe of the show. It's kind of spooky, but also um, the story is like really well told and unraveled as you keep watching each episode. So season one and season two are totally separate stories, but um, it focuses a lot on the whole torn America after the Civil War happened and slavery ended, but people are still kind of bent on pursuing this whole racism um, theme throughout the whole show. So basically, it's why this one town in Compton, it's all white folks who live there. They don't want any other colored people coming in. And this one family ends up moving in. They're black, and they get this nice house across from this other white family who really, really resents any colored people. The whole town, basically. The first episode it's so weird because at one point every single housewife from this neighborhood brings a chair and a radio and a table and places it in front of their driveway, sitting in the street, blasting this music that has to do with jungles and animals and kind of just pushing this whole stereotypical association with black people at the time. There are so many there are so many racist terms that are thrown around in this show. Some I've never even heard of. I won't say any of them on here. The N word is like everywhere in this show because all the white people use it. Um, and it's like a normal thing for them, right? Because not all of them, but a lot of them are used to just having other people like them around. And it's like this. It's a drama blended in with like horror elements and supernatural stuff at the same time, and it's a really well crafted show. Also, kind of reminds me of like the what's that Jordan Peele movie that was like super Us and Get Out. Um, yeah, like the whole cast is like, or the whole like main family, they're all black. So it yeah, it has to do with them dealing with all this shit around them on top of this these entities that show up throughout the show that are like pretty darn spooky. So I highly recommend watching this show. It's real good. Really good.
Now, does that interest you, Kevin, out of curiosity?
What?
What he just described, since he recommended it to you?
I wasn't paying attention. What did you recommend?
The show Them on Prime.
Oh, that show you were telling me a little bit about before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It does interest me. I'm gonna watch it at some point.
Great, great.
Interests you, huh?
I
Still
don't
interests
know.
you?
I think Adam might like it, like just for the like the production
Yeah,
quality.
sure.
It's got
Yeah,
really good production.
yeah.
Production.
I don't
That's
know
It,
if
good.
you'd
yeah.
like the supernatural horror elements, but
Oh yeah, that's what's influencing people.
You muttering
and
about
and
over
all the
there.
racism.
Ah,
So much
yeah.
racism in the
Oh
show.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Again, it's Genesis over here, so we don't know why he's saying, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
No, we have an
Oh
idea.
yeah. But so some might say we have a strong idea of one thing. Others may think it's inappropriate ideas, you know. But let's move on from that. We all good, Decimoto? We all set?
Let
Oh,
me
okay.
see if there's anything else. um, wait. Oh, hold on.
I'm holding on.
Hold on
Hold
harder.
on.
Grip it. Grip it.
Oh no, my hand!
Rip it.
um,
Oh, kick him and rip him.
Mm-hmm.
damn it! It
Kick him and
started a
stomp on him.
show called Cabaneri of
Oh,
the Iron Fortress anime.
Oh, that zombie anime?
Yeah,
I saw that years ago.
yeah.
I
It came
thought it
out
was
in
really good.
2016.
zombie, zombie.
That's exactly what they sounded like when they were chasing people.
What's in your
They were
head?
kind of like super zombies. Some of them were like
Super zombie.
learning and like adapting and figuring out how to actually fight and like eat the humans.
The dude was trying to figure out how to stop the infection that happens with the zombies.
Oh, what'd
Yeah.
you do?
I, I made people a little upset.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, so in the beginning well, I I mean, I don't think anybody else is gonna watch this here.
Nope.
Okay. Well, he gets bit. Okay, the main character. But somehow he has this machine that strangles him for like
What?
at least 15 seconds.
All right.
It
All
like
right.
acts as a noose
Okay.
essentially, right? So it pulls him up in the
Okay.
air.
What kind of
He's
show is
getting
this?
strangled, and so that virus that spreads through your whole body, it stopped at his neck because he was strangling himself, and then it went back
Mm.
down, and it went away. So he thought he was, fine. He wasn't infected, but later on he finds out he's a kabane, which is what the zombies are called in the show. Except the twist is that he is both now human and Cabernet, and so the term they use is a Cabaneri, and yeah, everybody lives in these train stations around the world. Around, I don't know if I think it's the whole world, but maybe it's just Japan. But
I think it's the whole world. The whole world
yeah,
succumbed
it
to
must be
some
the whole
biological
world.
warfare, and it turned people into zombies, and
Yeah,
they
and
have
so
to consistently move around on trains so that they don't get
yeah,
overrun by zombies.
Okay.
and they have
Hold. I
these
feel
like
like we.
large.
I feel like we moved too fast. Past the machine that strangles him.
He only
So
uses
he
it one time, so
Is
it's
that like
not
a
huge.
sex
Like,
machine or something? What's going
no,
on
no, no,
there?
no.
Why? What?
Let me
What?
let me explain. Let me explain. So he had a machine that basically he was
Oh.
trying to understand how when you get bit, like how fast the disease spreads. What happens if you were to cut off the circulation on certain body parts in your body? So like he had nail gunned a like a big piece of iron around his shoulder because it started from his arm. It didn't stop the spread. Then he like covered himself up with like this wire, this barbed wire or whatever, and like pulled hard
Got
basically
it.
to stop the circulation around his body, and it didn't stop there. So he had to put himself in the noose, pull himself up, and essentially try and kill himself to stop the thing from spreading up past his neck into his brain, which is what would turn him into a zombie. And the machine was there for different reasons of torturing these zombies to see what would work on them. Like, what if we hung him and tried to fucking make him come back to us? Whatever, I don't know. Um, he used the machine on himself, and that's how he figured out that he could pull the virus back and become a hybrid, a zombie human.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, that's the explanation of that machine.
Thank you for explaining,
Also,
because the way Desonoto glossed over that, I was like, what the hell?
yeah, no, it was
Yeah, I'm
not a
sorry.
sex machine. It was more of a torture machine for the zombies to perform different types of
Testing.
examinations on them. Like, what if we used hot iron on them? What if we used, uh, what if we cut some of their body parts off and see what reactions would happen? Trying to figure out like a cure for this zombie apocalypse that happened.
Now, another question. I don't know if this can be answered. How come when he stops strangling, it doesn't spread?
So he strangled enough to where he was about to die. I guess if I had to explain it in actual realistic terms, he probably deprived his brain of enough oxygen at the point to where the virus stopped going up and receded back into the bite section in his arm and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, now, that's crazy, but also, if you have to explain it in real terms, infections don't just stop and recede back.
Well,
They eventually go, okay, now it's clear, because the rest of the body still infected. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm a little
So
confused by that, but I'm assuming the
the
show doesn't
way
really
that
care.
this virus apparently works is it's like almost a virus is alive regardless. It's something that has it's a living substance. But this behaves more like a living substance because from the bite area, it will continuously travel across your body until the entire host is taken over. But it doesn't just travel like a normal virus does, infecting everything that it goes in a random direction. It goes and it spreads as fast as it can across the host, and it meticulously uses whatever means of travel in your body to get to the brain the fastest. So for him, he got bit on his forearm, and he used one of the carotid, or is that the word I'm using correct? Carotid artery? No, whatever. One of the fucking arteries that are going from your heart into your one of the major arteries, because it went straight past his chest into his heart, straight up into his brain, and that's what it was trying to do. So it's an anime trope for a virus of oh, well, if we stop the fucking infection, it'll go back down. But yeah, that's how they essentially explain it. It's a living virus that they're trying to control.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks for the explanation, Genesis.
Anytime. I'm always there to explain. Just like the racism I was about to explain, but I chose not to.
No.
Don't need. Thank you.
I swear that show is the most times you'll ever hear the N-word tossed around like it's nothing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Especially for a modern production. I'm
sure I can
surprised
make a modern production where that's tossed around even more often. But it's fine. It's okay.
they were able to make this show, and it's passed through all the outlets, and it's there. I feel like a lot of times everybody plays it safe and doesn't go the length that they really need to portray this horrible time
Let's not say bad things.
in American history.
Oh, America's great.
So they went the full fucking mile for the show. Not Cabaneri, but them. But I'm still in the middle of Cabaneri. I think I'm 2/3 of the way through. So episode 8, I think, is what I'm up to.
I forget how that show ended. I don't remember.
My friend was saying it wasn't a good ending, but I'll still watch and see what ends up happening. There was also a movie they put out, and then they made the anime into separate movies as well for Netflix for some reason. But that was
I don't
just
know what that
chopping
studio
up
did with that.
episodes.
Because the manga's really good for that show.
Oh,
I don't
maybe.
know.
I haven't read it, but there's that, and I watched a couple episodes of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation with my one friend.
God, that
Um,
anime is taken off. Every stupid meme I see is about that goddamn anime. About how the main
I
character's like cheated on his wife or something and slept with a bunch of girls or something. And, like, then one of the girls meets one of the other girls and meets the wife or something like that, and the wife just goes, "Okay, that's fine. It's okay." I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes, and I'm just like, "What?"
I don't know. I'm only up to like episode 2, so I didn't
It's
really
just
see a whole lot.
so many memes with that show. So
Or
many,
3 or
you don't
something.
understand. You just look at it and you're like, what is happening? What is going on?
Yeah, it's an interesting little show. Um,
Anything else? Going once,
uh,
going twice.
I think that's about it.
Alrighty. Okay. So, Daddy, do we want to talk about First Descendant?
I would like more time before I talk about it. But if you want to talk about it, hit it.
Okay. I'll give you just a little rundown real quick, right? Um, First Descendant's giving me a lot of Destiny vibes, a lot of Destiny and what were you saying the other night? Warframe, yeah, Warframe vibes. So far I've only invested into one character, and the battle pass itself. So we're gonna see how that game goes. Gunplay's pretty good. I like the character I'm playing as. She can move super fast. She's got electricity, and the excuse me, sorry. the the overall world looks pretty full. It doesn't look empty. The hub world looks very full. Doesn't look empty. You can almost interact with every single person, and there's tons of things to do. There's half the stuff we didn't even look at yet. But that's essentially my little hour and a half or hour with that game. What I've seen so far. We'll probably be playing more of it throughout the week, um, and we'll get a better impression for you guys next week. Daddy, you got any of the topics you want to talk about uh, for you specifically?
Just a big boy, so other people can go first.
Adam, what you got?
Um,
You talking about this
Joker.
Helldivers update coming through?
Yeah, in a second. Joker got another
Okay.
trailer. The Joker Folly Ado got a second trailer today.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't see that.
yeah, Harvey Dent's in it. You only hear him speak.
Oh,
You don't see him.
oh,
Um,
shit.
the vibes seem cool. Still a musical. Still interested. Still confused. Can't wait. Coming out October, I think. So that's cool.
Okay.
The Penguin. This is just my Adams fast DC updates. Um, the Penguin TV show, the sequel series to the Batman, takes place a week after the Batman. Um, and then it spends some time leading up to the Batman 2, which is exciting. Can't wait. Um, the other Batman spin-offs were canceled. So like the cop show that they were doing, the Gotham PD, and then the Arkham Asylum show that they were going to do, they were canceled, but elements of those have been added to the Penguin, which is fine. I think there's no reason to muddy those waters. Um, there's a rumor that Kumail Nanjiani is going to play Booster Gold in the DC universe. I like Kumail Nanjiani. I think that's not the correct way to go for Booster Gold. I don't dislike it enough to be like, I'm so upset. Because I'll just never be like that for any casting news. I just think they could find a better role for him in the DC. I definitely would like to see him in the DC universe that James Gunn is creating, but we'll see. Um, what else? Superman finished shooting in Cleveland. It's got more shoots to go somewhere else and in studio. Can't wait for that. Comes out in a year or so from now. I think little under a year now because it comes out in July something of next year. I think 15th. Um, looks cool. Can't wait. Lots happening there. There's also a rumor that Glenn Powell is going to be Batman because he's been followed by James Gunn and Andy Muschietti or whatever, who's supposed to be directing the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. I still think that's the wrong director's choice, but I trust James Gunn enough to make the correct choice for Batman because I think he's the one who took over shooting of the Flash, the movie that came out. All the Batman scenes in that movie were trash. Sorry, Ben, but that was a terrible last movie for you. And yeah, Glenn Powell, I think he'd be fun as Batman. I think he's more of a Hal Jordan, or honestly, he'd be a great Booster Gold too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of DC stuff's happening. Just exciting times to be a superhero fan. Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out soon. First reactions are pretty good. They're actually really great, but first reactions you don't want to really hold your expectations on those. But yeah, should be fun. And then yeah, I think that's it. A superhero roundup that turned into, but yeah, there you go. The end.
Nice. Okay. We're gonna talk about the. You want to talk about the Helldivers website now?
I guess I don't. I watched the trailer.
Okay.
That's it.
I can lead it if anything.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
want to
If you
lead it, you
want.
can lead it. I can lead it. Okay. August 6th, we're getting a new big update to Helldivers 2. It is the fall. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't remember the stupid title of it.
Escalation.
Escalate.
The
What?
freedom escalation or something, or
Yeah, something like
Escalation of
that.
Freedom. I think it's Escalation of Freedom or
The escalator of freedom.
the Elevator of Freedom. Uh,
Somebody's head came up the
Escalation of
stairs.
Freedom. Yeah, that's what it was. So August 6th, we're going to begin this big update. It's going to be introducing a new difficulty level. So we're having difficulty level 10. Level 10 brings new giant enemies to fight, which are not limited to tentacles popping out of the ground, a spore charger, um, bigger fortress dudes from the automatons, and now the Striders have rockets and armored turrets on the front of them. Also, rocket guys seem to look like they're more armored as well coming through. There is the more kind of horror-esque looking map that's going to be hitting the automaton side with the swamp, and it's darker and smoky and all that. There's going to be giant fortresses that appear on both the bug side and the automaton side on the level 10s that can also trickle down to other levels. I believe at least 7 or higher or 6 or higher will see those. Not to the degree, though, that the level 10s are seeing. And the fortresses, apparently, if you destroy them, you get rewarded with a huge amount of super stamps. And the fortresses are not easy to destroy. That's what they've made it clear, that these are supposed to be very difficult to destroy. On level 10, when you have backup called, which is either the automatons calling in dropships or the bugs summoning bug breaches, the normal enemies will no longer appear in there. It'll be more harder asshole enemies. We have an update to a brood commander as well. We also have an update to one of the automaton forces. I believe it is the tank, because the tank now has a 50 or 40 round missile launcher sitting on top of it. Um, some or maybe a silo is what I'm looking for. A missile silo on top of it. I don't know, one of the words I'm looking for.
it's like a rocket launcher thing, like one of those
There's 40
things.
holes in the thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
Fires at you from a
and
distance.
yeah, fires you
Fires
from a
real
distance.
close.
It's essentially like mortar that moves all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, it looks like we're going to be getting a couple of different weapons, although they don't specify all the weapons. We could see in the trailer, though, there were a couple of weapons that we didn't recognize. One was leaked. It looks like a laser Gatling gun as a heavy weapon. and that was leaked earlier today. As I don't know if a small clip was leaked out of that one. But overall, update looks to be pretty sizable. We don't have a third faction yet, but all these new updates to current enemies and being able to be kicked and still retaining your samples. So for all the folks that get grief kicked because people are absolute idiots and don't know how to read and understand that everybody leaves the same amount of samples no matter who you team kill, um, that will be a fix for you guys where even if you're kicked, you retain your samples and you have to extract on your own map that you end up getting booted to, not just back to your ship. Um, there apparently is more quality of life updates that they did not speak about. On top of that, they said there is more stuff that is coming. If I had to take a guess, we're probably going to see Hive Lords and the Omega Hulks, like the big ones that we saw like around the map. Um, Other than that, they didn't mention much else as far as other things and upgrades we'd be seeing. I'm sure we'll see that. They did not talk about a war bond. I'm sure a war bond will get dropped off that day, but
There wasn't a
they're
lot of
pretty.
like what players are getting to fight these things.
Yeah, which again, you could see some of the weapons in the trailer
Yeah.
are not weapons that we have. So they purposely didn't talk about it. I'm sure as we get closer, there'll be like a big war bond update and be like, hey guys, here's all the tools you're gonna get to fight these new enemies we have. The main concern from the community that I've seen, as far as comments and everything go, a lot of people are excited about all these new things to fight. Obviously, the same concern of, hey, what weapons are we going to get to fight them? Because as it stands, a lot of the weapons are not going to be really effective against these things, considering they're so fucking big. Um, and they want to know what kind of things we're going to have, as well as a lot of people are concerned with the difficulty because level 9s tend to be very hard. Let's even just talk about level 6s sometimes. They can feel like level 9s because of the amount of enemies that spawn. Um, and now that they're saying the small ones don't even spawn anymore, you're just going to get like more armored enemies that spawn in level 10s. I mean, unless they're giving us like 15 super Samps at a time, I I don't know how enticing level. I mean, I'll probably want to see like
Yeah.
what level 10s look like. I think
We'd want to try it, I
as a
think.
group. Yeah, yeah. There also is 2 or 3 new submissions that we will be seeing. One is picking up a baby Terminid that will start to scream as you pick it up and keep summoning more bugs around you until you get to extraction.
That's horrifying.
There's another one. Yep. There's another one that involves drilling oil and substances, or probably 710. I think that's actually what they call it in the Helldiver world, out of planets to be able to retrieve and send back. It looks like also the submissions could pertain to the giant fortresses to be able to destroy them. There was another submission I don't remember, but if somebody can look up all the different ones or watch the trailer and tell me, if it wasn't, if I don't remember, it maybe wasn't that important.
I don't know if they
Um,
actually specified all the submissions in the trailer. They
okay,
didn't.
okay,
They just talked about the
um,
larva one.
yeah. Um, the overall consensus though is people are excited. They seem to think that it's going to bring a lot of the player base back and invite new players into this. They did not specify whether this was a free update, unless I missed that piece. Uh, I don't think they're gonna charge for the update, but they specifically didn't say it was a free update coming. They said it's an update coming on
Yeah,
August
it's an
6th.
update.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know.
free.
I
Yeah.
didn't see the word free.
Well, they one of our largest updates coming. I can't see them putting level 10
Well,
behind a
this is the
paywall or
first.
anything.
This is the first update that they have a name for. None of the other updates have had a name.
You're not. I see what you're saying. Maybe it's just gonna be
Yeah,
like 1,000 things
super
to
creds.
unlock. Yeah, because there's probably things in that trailer that are part of a war bond, but there are things in the game that are just going to be free to everybody, so they'll specify at a
Hmm.
later date, like which is which.
Yeah.
But also,
One of the quotes that they,
it's 1,000 credits probably, or
yeah,
1,000 war
one of the
bucks.
one of the quotes they said was, "We want to introduce Helldivers to more players," and immediately my mind thought, "Are they announcing it for Xbox or something?" That obviously didn't happen. Um, but it seems like they really think that this is going to bring a lot of the player base that has left due to stagnant game or stagnant gameplay or just being tired of the game overall back. So and it showcased a lot of the new CEO that came in. I think he replaced the old guy, right? This new dude who came in, Jason something Plisted or whatever his
Johan
name is.
Pilstead, he's the old
Pilstead.
CEO.
Oh, I
He's the
thought he was
game
an
director
oh.
now, I think, or something.
Still, his title was still CEO in the trailer, unless I was
No,
wrong.
it's
I don't know.
not.
I thought I saw
Creative
CEO.
director.
Is it creative director now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought in the trailer I saw CEO. Okay, never mind. Um, but yeah, that's the Helldivers update in a nutshell there. I know. I'm sure myself, Adam, and my youngest brother as well, because he was asking me today, "Did you see the trailer?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." Um, and then I'm sure what's
Why'd
his
you have
name?
to give him
Celery. I'm
Destinota's
sure.
voice?
Celery.
Why'd you have to do that to him?
Did you see the
um, and I'm sure Celery will be playing it. Kevin, I'm sure you'll try it once or twice and see what you think of it, and then go from there. Um, but yeah, any thoughts on this update so far? Anything you want to talk about?
I'll finally say the 380 is going to be worth it soon with those giant
Yeah,
places.
those three. If two people throw two 380s in there, that'd be pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Take that shit out real quick. But those fortresses, especially the bug ones, damn, do they look like they got a lot of shit in them. They also made a point to talk about the spore towers having some anomalies with them now. About underneath or something like that. There's anomalies with spore towers and how they're, I don't know, maybe they might be like emitting poison gas or something. Oh, they did say that acid planets now. It's a double sword on acid planets. A dual edged, not double sword. Du, what's the word I'm looking for? Double edged sword. Um, you take more damage, but you also deal more damage to everything on an acid related planet now. Um, that's acid storms can do that apparently.
Yeah.
The um, everything gets eroded. Um, there was one other thing, and I can't remember. A bunch of bug fixes they're gonna do, fixing a lot of the social menu. Um, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Any other thoughts, comments?
Cool. I'm glad they're putting a giant update or a big update to this. Like, again, I said I didn't need anything. I'll still play it, but like, this is cool. Like, I can't wait to play this. Can't wait to try it out. I hope everyone jumps
Mm-hmm.
in and plays, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's cool. Hopefully it doesn't break the game in ways that people get upset again. But knowing them, it might. So
Yeah.
Who got
Yeah.
upset?
who got upset? People get upset. Just people in general just
Oh,
get upset. I mean, every
oh
time the
yeah,
game's
yeah, yeah.
updated, like there's just a group of people who just like have major issues. Like it's
Who
crashing,
just
they
start
can't connect.
crying?
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
blame them. I would be upset too. But yeah, so hopefully that doesn't happen for this. But again, knowing them, probably.
I guess we'll see how it goes. August 6th is rapidly approaching though, and we'll be diving to see what everything's going on about in that game.
Oh fuck!
What?
Sam Mowry passed away.
Who?
The voice of Kessler in Infamous.
Who?
My skin in
Who?
Minecraft.
Ah, Oh, okay. Sorry for your
Damn.
loss.
R.I.P. Sad way to learn.
Rape. Absolutely.
What the fuck?
You said R.A.P.
I said R.I.P.
Oh, sorry.
Why the
I
fuck would
thought
I
you
say
said.
R.A.P.? Also, that's rap. It's
All
also
right,
the voice of
cool.
Rost in League of Legends. Or Rast?
Oh,
No idea who that
oh,
is.
oh, that's hard. That's awful. That's terrible. I'm so sorry for your loss.
What?
All right, Kevin. Big boys up.
All right. There is an article that got thrown out there about from Wired. Um, talking about how AI is already taking jobs in the video game industry. Um, focus a
Mm.
lot on generative AI and art. I believe mostly was what the article talked about. But generative AI is coming into the video game workspace. Oh boy. Um,
Surprised it wasn't there
so
already.
I mean, it probably was, but now it's like confirmed or whatever. Anyway, uh, so obvious. I mean, first question: what do we think? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What is this actually like gonna help with or not help with? Um, and personally, I don't think this is a great thing at all because this just means more people lose their jobs. But what's everybody else thinking with this?
I mean, AI in a nutshell is good and bad. It's good in a way that it allows us to do things we were not able to do before with way more ease. Um, it makes a lot of processes way less painful. Um, Bad in a way that, yeah, it does end up replacing us because it can make more calculated decisions quicker or make things that would take us time much quicker. Um, in the video game space, I feel like if used correctly, it should at least give a more, what's the word I'm looking for, a better creative direction. Because you can generate like some really cool things out of AI. I'll give you an example. I use Gemini on my phone. That's one of Google's AI systems, and I can essentially create a Dungeons and Dragons game through AI and have AI continuously create this endless world for me. Just have to tell it like, hey, I want to create a fantasy world based about what did I say? I wanted to create a fantasy world where I'm an assassin who's a frog that was scaling a giant castle, and I had to steal doorknobs off of the king's doors all across the castle so I could take it back and sell it for a bag of watermelons. And it created the world, did everything specifically the way I wanted, even gave me skills and things I could choose from um, to help me steal the doorknobs easier. And it gave me a time of year, I'm sorry, a year, a time of day, and um, overall like world where I was. I also got to pick like a class. Like I was an assassin, part of the Assassin's Guild, and I uh, I was a frog with a hood that can also use a camouflaging cape that I could turn invisible as long as I stayed completely still. So AI can do some crazy ass things like that, which is cool and scary because for a human to come up with all that, it requires quite a bit of creativity on their side to be able to come up with something like that and actually create that idea and put it on a paper and then get that going. So, um, in the video game space, I guess it's a good and a bad thing. It really depends on how it's being used. If corporations use it just to replace people, that's terrible. That's awful. That shouldn't be the case. If they use it to help improve jobs, be like, hey, now you have a new tool at your disposal. That's good. As long as you keep a human behind the AI, I guess.
Hmm. Anything else before I comment on that? Cool. Um, AI for like what you call it, procedurally generated worlds and shit. All for it. Freaking let's go. Because you tell that thing how to intelligently make a world, and it can go ham hocks, and you can
Oh yeah,
have a whole bunch more replayability in your game.
it'll do
Um,
crazy stuff.
but like as far as having AI develop an entire game concept for you, that's a recipe for your company immediately being blacklisted and thrown in the trash. Like people
Yeah.
are gonna catch on. The quality's not gonna be there. The human
Dog.
touch is not gonna be there.
Dog
Because
ass company.
oh,
Sounds like already one that I know
oh,
of that people continue to still buy from.
Oh,
oh! I gave him
oh,
$100. Uh,
oh no.
People in the same room as I'm sitting currently, you know, they'll continue
Oh
to buy
dear.
from no matter how shitty they are.
damn right. I love smelling those pants. I mean, what?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. AI, like I said, making procedurally generated worlds and doing like automated tasks in video games, hell yeah. I mean, that's basically what the hell this shit's designed for. But like, you start saying like, oh, we could get like so much more concept art done. Okay, but like that's already being met with mixed opinions on people from people being like, "Oh, this is AI art. We don't want to have anything to do with this." And you got like AI voice acting. People are like, "What the fuck is this? We don't want this. Put somebody behind the mic."
I
Like
feel
the
like
gaming
AI
community
voice
really
acting would be
doesn't
kind of
like it at all.
that's kind of weird.
Um,
AI voice acting. I would say that's probably the weirdest one. Doesn't it?
you
Can't
know,
you still tell with the voice?
probably I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, you
can
can, right?
okay.
I figured.
Well, I
Figured
mean,
too.
I don't know. Did you guys? Could you guys tell when you were playing the finals?
Oh yeah, the freaking announcers,
Yeah.
absolutely. At least I think so anyway.
Mm.
It didn't sound genuine enough.
Not at all.
But like it's weird because like the finals, it almost makes sense in that world. So that's like the rare like I mean, maybe it's AI voice acting, but like kind of fits the vibe going on in this game. So is it okay? I don't know. It might be okay. Um but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Um I don't know. I think definitely a slippery slope for certain game companies, especially like if Activision Blizzard just starts going crazy with AI because they already like suck at making new products. Um, what's happening right now? Who's like eating a wrapper? What's going on?
I muted myself for the whole time, so I know it wasn't me.
mm, you're muted, so you don't want to respond to me. I see how it is. Um,
If I hear, I'll respond. I mean,
what?
I've been
So,
responding.
all right. Let me ask this. Let me ask this. Why? Why are companies going to AI to do all this shit for them?
The
Uh,
cost,
The cost, yeah, it's all about the
Oh,
cost.
right?
okay. Cost. Good. I'm glad you guys played into the next part of this thing. All right, cost.
I'm excited.
Here's the thing. Wild idea here. It might be horribly wrong. I don't know. I thought about it while I was taking a shit. All right.
Now's the best time to think of those
So,
ideas.
so game companies like mostly AAA, but like yeah, some indie developers talk about this too. But like a lot of AAA developers, especially recently, with all of like the layoffs and stuff that are going on, they've been talking about like how well you guys just don't understand. It takes so much time and so much energy and so much cost to make a game nowadays, and blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, you're not wrong, but you continue to make bigger and bigger and bigger experiences because why? These are $70 or more games because you try to like throw in these like deluxe editions and shit, but that's slightly different. So like we'll come back to that. But like $70 games or whatever, right? And when a AAA game comes out, a lot of the time, us gamers in general, will sit there and be like, am I really going to get enough time out of this $70? Like, and we're questioning it, right? Because $70 is a lot of money. But then, if you go out to eat and it's just like two of you, and you go out for like a nice dinner, and you want to be like, no, we're not looking at like the prices on this menu. Let's just order some food and drinks and have a good time out. $70 easy or more, right? You go get like a board game, freaking Doom the board game, $120. I drop that in a heartbeat. Why? I got all these cool plastic minis that I can show off to people. I can use them in other things if I wanted to, like D&D and shit. I got a cool board game to break out when I want to play with people, and like I got a thing. But then you have these $70 video games where people are like, no, hold on, man, is this really worth my money? And that got me thinking, why do we do that? Why are we doing this? Because for some reason, the AAA studios continue to make bigger and better and bigger and better and mostly bigger
Mostly bigger.
experiences and longer experiences because they feel like they have to justify this price hike, but then all that's going to do is it's going to make everything cost more and they're going to have to price hike again and then they're going to have to try even harder to justify that. Whereas on the flip side, you got freaking Lethal Company releasing at $10, does gangbusters. Vampire Survivors releases at like what 4, and that thing did absolutely insane amounts of revenue because then it hit mobile games and all kinds of shit. Um, yeah, Animal Well that did gangbusters when it came out for 20. Helldivers, gangbusters at 40. I think it's the fact that like, and I'm not trying to say that the AAA developers need to like reduce their price. No, you just don't need to make massive games. Just make
Yep.
good games. Just
Hmm.
because a game you can sink like 200 hours into the game doesn't necessarily mean that it is good. It is a time sink. Maybe you might enjoy a time sink kind of game. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're going to do that for every single freaking game you're going to put out,
Hmm.
do you really have a leg to stand on in this argument? Thoughts? Someone else take it
Um,
away.
I'd
I
like to
got an
give some
immediate.
applause here.
Ooh!
Put your applause up your ass. All right. So
It's
I'll
not.
tell
It
I
you
want to
right
doesn't
hear
now.
it.
belong
Do it.
there.
Oh God. I'll tell you right now why companies are doing what they're doing, and I'll
I'm
take
ready.
Sony for
Because
example.
they're
Sony, a
fucked.
lot of what Sony they talk, a lot of what Sony's talked about is how they're changing their the way they are not judging, but the way that they look at games. It's not about um, how much the game sells now. It's all about longevity, right? Not to say that how much it sells doesn't make a difference. What I'm saying is their focus is shifting to how long does a person play a game for, right? How long they buy this game from us, how long and how much content are they going to get out of this game? A lot of the companies are shifting that focus because it, again, live service comes back to this whole thing of like how much money can they pull out of a person playing a game longer than other games. And the reason why they do these, they want to keep opening and making these games bigger, better, more stunning, more this, more that. It's exponential growth. This notion of exponential growth that fucking every CEO on the fucking face of the fucking planet and every tech company and gaming company and whatever it may be has all collectively understood that this is the way to the future, they have to keep doing this to create this exponential growth curve so that stockholders and investors continue to funnel money into what they do, right? And again, I work for a tech company. I will use them as an example. Our CEO has absolutely joined this idea that unless we exhibit exponential crazy growth month over month, year over year, we will cease to exist as a company because that is the trend that everything is going in now. And the stockholders, which is the most important thing to any corporation on the face of the earth, will refuse to invest any more money unless they see this bigger, better, faster, more stunning, more beautiful product that or service that comes out of what they're putting in. R&D, if you look a decade ago, R&D used to be about like, hey, we we always want to make a product bigger, better, but we want to take our time and understand what we need to do to improve this product or make it better or make a new experience. Fast forward 10 years. Here we are today, where R&D is, okay, we got this product out last week. This week we got to talk about this product, and we got to add XYZ to it to make it even bigger than the last product. We could copy some assets from that last product, but hey, we got to make it bigger and better better enough. That's not proper English, but better enough so that the public continues to buy and continues to consume. That's why the whole thing is they're shifting to how long does somebody play our game for? How often, if they're buying it, what's the longevity of that title? Because the longer the title is, the more time they get in between being able to have to pump out the biggest, best product. That's why you're getting these time sinkers now that a lot of people are kind of fed up with because they're like, well, I can't sink all this time. I don't have the time to sink into these things anymore. It's but that's the measurement that they're going with now. Okay, well, if we can make a game that's that long that we can keep pumping money out of by adding different experiences or doing this or doing that to it, or sinking or making it a 200-hour game so that it just takes that much longer for them to finish, that's the measurement they're going for now, instead of what it used to be, which is let's put out a quality title, take our time till the next one, because we just need to put this one quality one out for now, because it's quality over quantity at this point.
But see, like, I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong here. But then you got Capcom, who clearly understands that, like, they have multiple teams of entire people, and they're like, all right, here's a Devil May Cry. Oh, by the way, there's a new Resident Evil coming out 3 months from now. Why? Because we're awesome. Oh, and that Street Fighter update that's coming out? You're welcome. Oh, yeah. Also, we got DLC for the previous Resident Evil coming out. Yeah, that's right. We got content coming out of our asses like crazy. Also, we're remastering 5 games. Why? I don't know, but they keep selling, and you keep buying them, so we're going to keep making them.
We need to remember, though, how long it took Capcom to reach that point.
That's true.
They had decades.
This is recent. Yeah.
Awful, awful games. Shitty content, not understanding what the market is, not understanding what consumers wanted. Yes, they're an anomaly to this rule because they are now in their quote unquote like golden age, where everything they're pumping out, people are buying.
Well,
Everything
they're
they put
the
out.
only ones who understand it now.
Well,
I would say I don't think anybody else understands what they understand.
I wouldn't say that, because From Software clearly understands what the fuck everybody else understands.
Okay, well, yeah, From Software, like we can name a handful of companies, right? But most of them are just going after the fucking live service shovelware that gets shoved down everybody's fucking throat every 2 months.
But the big players are all going after longevity and live service, because that is what pays the bills. That's what gets the investors hooked.
Is it?
That's what.
Not anymore.
Well,
it's
again,
like 1 in every 10.
It's all about longevity, right? So if a live service game can survive that long, the more money they can farm out of that, the better that looks for the investors, which then give them more capital. And if you don't have a live service,
don't at this point in time.
You have only the handful that do, right? At this point, you only have the handful, which Helldivers has now become one of them, right? Even though after launch, yes, it's seen a decline, but it still has a lot more concurrent players than a lot of other live service games do.
Yeah, that doesn't matter because it's just going to follow the trends of like Diablo and Path of Exile and shit like that. People will come back.
You got Call of Duty, you got Diablo, you got what's the Destiny?
Call of Duty just hasn't. I still don't understand how Call of Duty still has like no competition. Freaking X Defiant could have been competition, and Ubisoft fucked that shit up like you couldn't freaking believe. Well, you probably could, but like you couldn't believe. Splitgate 2, please save us, dear God. I don't know, man. It's just weird shit. But like, isn't it though that companies are complaining about this very thing, that these games they keep making, they're like, oh well, everybody expects that the experience to be so big, so we got to keep like putting all this time in, and we just keep losing money. They make smaller shit. Make something that's simple.
But then you have Call of Duty that's never lost this like. So Call of Duty has become the Apple of video games. They just have to put one thing new every single year.
Apple.
They put Yeah, sorry, I meant Apple, like Apple tech.
I'm like, the fruit?
They just have to change one thing in it, and people will go crazy and buy it because it's the brand
hmm
that everybody's aiming to be. It's the
It's
brand that
status
everybody
symbol
wants to be.
almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's a status symbol,
For
and
the consumer, I mean.
that's what all these companies are going after. They want to be the next status symbol, the brand that people look to and say, "Oh shit, like that I gotta have that because everybody else is gonna have that shit, so I gotta have that shit."
Freaking Fortnite,
Um,
yep.
yeah, Fortnite's a big thing. As soon as Fortnite took off, everybody wanted to jump on the same bandwagon. That's how battle royales fucking blew up out of nowhere. So
It's
it's
so many failed.
this is what they see, and this is why they're measuring by how long somebody will play something for versus how much of it can we sell.
hmm
That's, I mean that's what they're all aiming for. At this point, PlayStation has become that icon of a console right next to Nintendo, where you know all the other like Xbox wants to be like them, where PlayStations are fucking flying off the shelves. Um, what do you call it? Game Pass is now turning out to be that symbol for live for subscription based gaming that a lot of people want to copy because
hmm
it clearly did well. It had a lot of people. Um, Probably not as well as Microsoft wanted, but hey,
Until
still
it
making money for them.
didn't.
I mean, yeah. Um,
And
so,
now the FTC is coming knocking. That's a whole other story.
but
Yeah.
AI coming in this will either help corporations solidify that idea of exponential growth, or it will help dissolve that idea because AI will bring in a new era of creativity.
Oh,
And
interesting.
creative
Okay.
products will be the ones that sell. Although I can't tell that from now because it's hard to read the market like that. You can't just be broad and be like, well, AI is going to change X, Y, Z. It could not,
Right.
and it could help solidify like companies thinking, oh yeah, this is going to help us infinitely grow because it'll keep making these ideas for us for free.
hmm
All I got to do is run a program instead of
Right.
paying a person.
Okay, okay, okay. Follow up. Obviously, AI like has its place in gaming and whatnot. We don't like it for certain things. We don't mind it for others. What about if AI? Let's pretend here that AI actually gets real good at like making a game, right? Don't look at like anything else that's like come out up to now or whatever the hell. Let's say AI is actually pretty good. How do you feel about AI completely taking over a remaster project?
As long as it can identify what needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed, that's
Let's say
fine.
the AI is smart enough to upscale everything, make it pretty, keep the same gameplay.
I'm probably for that.
Do like if people were to like quote lose jobs or hey we don't remaster games anymore. Like let's say well okay maybe Night Dive 'cause that's a bad example. Night Dive literally lives for this shit. Um, but like let's say a studio like Capcom, all right, they remaster a bunch of games. They yes they do change things, but like let's say an AI was smart enough to like mess around with that, and then you can take those teams and put them on other things. Like is that
I
AI
guess if
taking
people,
people's jobs,
I guess if
or is
people are
that
not
just
losing their jobs, like okay,
right?
let's say let's say you repurpose the remaster team to some brand new IP that the AI cannot create. But if you give the AI assets that have already been created and you tell the AI, I need you to upscale, re redo these resolutions
hmm
and add a modern touch to this, I'm probably for that because
I
if the
mean, yeah,
AI
like
can
if
do
you
it,
look, yeah,
that's
like
fine.
if you let's look at Capcom. They've already remastered Resident Evil 1 multiple times. Resident Evil 2's been remastered. 3's been remastered. 4's been remastered. Like in theory, this might be like decades out or something at this point, but I don't. In theory, you could feed this information, quote quote, of like how they did this to an AI, and it could be like, oh, okay, these kinds of approaches were taken when remastering the Resident Evil series. I'm gonna go remaster 5 now,
As long as
and
we
and
repurpose
then
the
6,
folks
and
that
then
were
right.
doing the job to do
hmm
something different and add value to what
I
Capcom is
mean,
worth. And
wouldn't
I
you
think
do that? Because that's free money if the AI can handle the remaster all by itself.
yes, but also now you got to pay these people to go to a different project. So here's the thing that corporations will
Okay, okay.
either do, like this is the defining point, right? Do they replace people with these just so they can save cost? Or do they understand that exponential growth is not needed? It's exponential creativity that's needed. So
hmm
you need talent being put elsewhere to help create newer, more enticing or innovative products. So that we're not looking for the next biggest fucking brand name Call of Duty, but we're looking for the next Animal Well, the next
So the
um,
AI becomes a think tank.
the AI just becomes the manpower behind
hmm
remastering things that have already been
Or
done.
that, right.
And then the people who were originally responsible for creating those remasters are repurposed to create new IPs and help new ideas stick.
hmm
Because the bigger portfolio that we have leads to better growth and also more shareholders investing rather than just replacing our current staff with AI and keep pumping out the same ideas, just at a bigger scale and a faster scale.
hmm hmm Destino, you want back in this? Or are you good?
Um,
Destinoto has become an AI.
Oh no.
oh, please, please. Um, no, I think, um, this is heading in the right direction,
Uh huh.
this discussion
hmm
now. I was not liking where it was going before, but,
Where was it going
yeah.
before?
Well, I'll just say that it's definitely better use of AI to do things that we don't have to do ourselves anymore.
Oh, you were thinking I was all for eliminating people and just putting AI.
Yeah, well, just some of the I don't know, some of the things you were saying was like, but but yeah, it should just be doing what we don't have to do anymore
AI
versus
should be
like,
there to simplify more automated tasks that humans do,
which it's always been
not
doing,
to
right?
yeah,
hmm
not to replace the humans that perform those automated tasks.
Yeah, but then that's that's what these the fucking suits in the companies will be looking at is replacing the people,
Yeah, because when
and
you don't
that's
have to
what
pay a
sucks
person a
sometimes.
salary, you just have a program that does it for free. There you go.
Then their company will dig itself a hole,
Well,
and then we'll all be
they
happy.
first see like an increase in profits because they're like, well, now we can just take all these salaries, repurpose them, and make profits out of them. But in the long run, the AI is just going to end up creating this like black and white or grayscale just project that is there's no soul in it. There's nothing in it. It's just a bigger version of the last project or a better looking version of the last project or a more prettier looking version of the last project. So it's it's supposed to be to simplify things, not apps outright replace shit.
hmm
That's what it should be. It should be another tool on a game developer's arsenal, right? It should be another tool that they have to make their lives easier and help create better stories, better video games, better experiences. Um, Not outright just take their job and be like, well, you can't do it, so I'll do it better.
Adam, you want in on this conversation? No, this isn't your favorite thing to talk about.
I've been quiet for too long.
All right.
Let it
Unlike
rip.
unlike Genesis, I did not fall asleep. I was listening the entire
Oh.
time.
Oh my god.
Oh, shot.
And I read the Wired article, which I'm sure no one here has done, maybe other than Kevin.
I
Did not.
skimmed like the first
Interesting.
half, and I was
Interesting.
like, "This is too long."
It's way too long. I think biggest takeaway was most of the people being replaced are artists. And the
Okay, I
artists
thought
that
that was
are
most of that.
staying, 2D artists, and most of them that are staying, they're being trained to like recognize AI artwork and then fix it up. But now they're being let go too. Um, One of the
Oh.
biggest things that they pointed out was there was a company named Crypco that for a flat monthly fee of $34 per month, you get access to a commercial license and unlimited artwork. And for any artwork from a person, it would be $692 on average for just one piece of artwork.
Mhm.
So that company is basically just killed all of it for like killed all the human artwork for everybody. I think you guys are all correct with the AR artwork. I don't care for AI artwork in regards to like I paid for something and if I know it's done with AI, it just feels cheapened to me. Like I don't mind
Mhm.
AI doing some things. Like it's a natural thing. AI is a technology. It's going to happen. Most people realize that, but for it doesn't create art. It steals art that's already been created and then mixes it up and pushes it into a different image, and it still looks terrible, and it looks janky most
I
of the
hate all
time.
of it. I hate every fucking
It's
thing. Yeah.
yeah. It's
So
fun when you're like
bad.
bored and you just write in like a crazy thing. I'm not an artist. I can't
Yeah.
draw anything. But if I wanted a real piece of art, I would just pay somebody to make me art. Um so AI is like, yeah, it's gonna happen. It'll pop up. It's gonna lay off more people. Um AI has been used in writing. People are trying to use it in writing. It didn't pop up too much in this video game talk. Um,
Mhm.
for good reason, because when AI writes something, it's usually very obvious because it just
Hmm.
does not understand like certain concepts, especially
I
as of
still love how
yet.
everybody. Oh, go ahead. Mhm.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna jump in with Disney's Wish and how everybody thought it was written by AI.
Yeah, yeah. When things are bad, it seems like AI, and sometimes it's
Mhm.
just it's well. The thing is, when things are bad and it's written by like a bunch of people and then just kind of shoved together, that's basically what AI is.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot in this article where it's like every single artist that had to use AI is like, I don't think this is necessary for my work, and I don't feel like I'm doing the creative process. Um, you guys said that with a like if you get AI to do a generative world maybe dungeons just generate and AI does that. Yeah, that makes sense because humans created assets and AI just mixes it up. That's fine. That's a great idea. Cool. Whatever. Genesis talked about a game he made on his phone. I don't know how much of a game he played that for. Like I don't know how long you like played that for and like if it was
There's been a
good.
couple of rounds I played. Yeah, I didn't get too far into it. I ended up stealing a bunch of doorknobs and I escaped by using my cloak of invisibility. And then I was going to a nearby town to disperse the gold doorknobs to people, and then I stopped there.
How many times have you done this? Just once?
No, three different times. One was to create a game based on, oh god, I was in a world where dogs had taken over, and they used humans as sacrifices to appease their dog god. Um, that was one I created, and another one I created was just make a character that, um,
Oh dear.
what the hell did I tell him? I told the AI to make a character that would be able to transcend all of humanity, become a god, and then wipe people out.
Oh.
So it gave me a character. He was a cool character. He came from outer space. He was blue, and it created like this whole outfit for him. His skills were created. He had like deity powers where he could like snap his fingers and things would just disappear or appear. He also had like these blazing red eyes, and I was like, this man sounds like Captain Planet for some reason. I don't know why, but um, I don't know. But yeah, the most detailed one was that world where I was a frog, and I wanted to steal doorknobs off the castles, the king's doors on all of his castles, or in all of his castle. Um, and I wanted to be like a Robin Hood esque type character, but I also wanted to be an assassin. And my choices of weapons were like poisonous, dark skin, and the cloak of invisibility. And I had frog kunai that I would throw, and I'd be able to bring back because it was sticky or something. So it was. I've done this a couple times, but the scale that it creates it at is very very cool. So if I saw games like that where it'd be like, you know, this game, this procedurally generated game is being improved with AI to the point where it can now understand choices you make, directions you go, things, objects you pick up, people you meet. That'd be pretty cool. I would be behind that, right? But if I play an AI created game where the script and everything was made by AI, and all the characters were modeled with AI, and the game was made with AI, and there was no human involvement, that game would probably be pretty bland.
It'd be shit.
It'd be pretty boring.
It'd be the shit in my toilet.
Wow, Dustin
That's
got
another
some
point. So I'd be
passion.
able to shit
Jesus.
in this toilet. The place where I work, we use AI to solve
To flush your
problems.
toilet?
No, not to flush my toilet. If we have a question about, like, let's say a promotion and we don't know if it's going to stick with a certain combination of plans, we ask the AI to see if it will or won't, based on all the information that has already been provided in an encyclopedia of our current tech company's knowledge. Sometimes the AI does not give the answer, whereas I could figure the answer out if I looked up all the documents. Sometimes it does give the answer, and it was the same answer that I would have given, considering I know most of the fucking encyclopedia that we have. So we're still in the early stages of AI. I would say this is the infancy stages of AI still, because it's still making mistakes. Although some things it does, it's hard to tell whether it's real or not. But most things, it's still making obvious mistakes where humans can tell there is AI involvement in this. I guess we'll see how it evolves. I don't know. We'll see how it evolves and grows. I mean, AI is only going to evolve and grow with the involvement of humans. Once humans are not there anymore, if evolution becomes stagnant in AI, because there's nothing more for it to learn.
Yeah. It's only learning from us.
Right.
Right.
It has to have a subject to learn from, and technically, a machine is not going to learn from another machine. So.
I think the article ends on a great quote of it's talking to a person named Violet who identifies themselves as Violet. They're classified as a veteran AAA games developer, and they said AI isn't bad in and of itself. It's bad when the end goal is to maximize profits. AI can be extremely helpful to solve complex problems in the world or do things no one wants to do, things that are not taking away somebody's job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's good.
Yeah, and I just that it's like, yeah, again, AI, sure, do it for stuff. Like the movie industry just not terribly long ago went through that whole strike in order to get actors representation for AI dubbing their voices and being used for their likeness. And there's a lot of like um, rules in their contract now that they can't be replaced. And if they
Mm-hmm.
nobody can just steal their voice. Um, and in video game voice acting, so far that's not a thing. That's not like it's not been. They haven't basically gotten to that point yet of unionizing is the best way to put it. There was a lot of talk in
Hmm.
this too that somebody said the best thing AI is doing right now is showing people that unions matter. And that's something that the
Oh,
games
okay.
industry has been moving towards the last 5 to 10 years or so, especially with all these layoffs lately, where a lot of it is they are trying to unionize, just
Mm-hmm.
for protection against just their jobs being completely eliminated by basically anything. But at the same time, there's that fine line you have to walk of, are we keeping people despite progress in technology, or are we keeping people because technology has improved and we can improve it even more if we keep these people? So it's a very interesting thing that's happening right now in the games industry and every industry, honestly. Um, so this issue is so not complicated to anybody I've ever talked to, because it's like, yeah, AI is cool. Don't replace people with it. All right, problem solved. We did it. But then companies are like, okay, who can we replace with this? And it's like, yeah,
Again,
everybody knows
it's
that's
all about
bad,
how
but
they can get that free profit by just
Yeah.
replacing jobs and then
yeah, and the
all of a sudden
exponential
calling it.
growth. Yeah,
Yeah, that fucking. I
Genesis, you're
hate
right.
that. It's.
Yeah, the fact that
No,
every
you're.
company,
Yeah.
I understand that every company wants to grow, but like exponential growth is literally a fucking disease amongst
Mm-hmm.
CEO minds for some reason.
I don't know
Like,
what the
it's good
fuck.
to
It's ever
grow
since fucking
because
like COVID hit.
even before
They
that,
all
it's just
fucking.
it's gotten
No.
worse
It
though.
was. It just wasn't at
It's
the
been
level
crazy.
that it was like
No,
beforehand. Like I don't know. I feel like COVID accelerated that.
yeah, in some ways I agree with that. It's just
Yeah.
companies are expected to grow every year, which is fine because you're supposed to lose people and then also gain a little bit. But you have to understand that sometimes a market, you've either hit the cap or you have to do something completely different in order to grow further. And even if you wanted to expand anymore, it's you'd have to make sacrifices in places you really don't want to make sacrifices in, and it's not worth that risk. But for some reason, they're like, all right, we had double digit growth last year. If we don't get double digit growth this year, that means we're worse than we have been ever in the past, even though our profits are still like 4 times as high as they've ever been. But since we're
Mm-hmm.
not making
Uh,
5 times as high as we want, then we got to lay off people. It's like you're just setting yourself up for failure as time goes
Yep.
on.
Because yeah, because this is not a long. It's not a long haul game. This exponential growth
No,
is a very short term game. It's you're going to hit that roof really fast, and once you do, you're just going down. There is
You're coming
nowhere
right
else to
back down
go.
real fast. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
there's
AI
just
is
gonna be
also
nowhere else to go.
accelerating it too. It's eventually just gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, hey, game came out, everybody's removed from that studio. Another game came out, somehow we lost even more people. It's like, how many people work at Activision now? 17. What, 17,000? No, just 17. It's just 17 people now.
The CEO, his 2 kids.
yep,
Don't look at that.
sounds about
Um,
right.
I mean, I still don't understand why we continue to like. Well, I don't know if you can really stop it at this point. I think we let it get too far out of control. But like, why we still allow investors to basically do that for like a living? Like, just because you're investing in a company, you shouldn't like expect a return on your money. You should expect that whatever you're investing in to become better and help all. But no, no, it's just money. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
investing in you, so now give me more money in return. Wait,
Also,
what? Huh? Excuse me?
funny
I
story.
invest in this energy drink, all right? You want to know what it does for me? Helps me get through the day. I'm happy.
Mm,
It doesn't give me $4 back. I wish it did. That'd be kind of cool. But
that'd be nice. Well, if you join the rewards program, Kevin, you might be able to get reimbursed for one.
that's true. It's true. Oh my
Um,
God.
what's really funny is in this article, they talk about the former CEO of Activision Blizzard, and they write Brian Kotick, which is very funny because his name is Bobby Kotick. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so humans have failed. So AI needs to replace the wired people, is what I've discovered. Because
Interesting.
they're not double checking the names of people. So
Interesting. Okay, okay, okay.
just a fun little Easter egg there.
I love how, yeah,
Brian
that's
Kodak.
pretty great. I love how, like, media is still painting AI as like being on the verge of taking everything over as well, and how like, oh, AI guys, it's so scary. It can learn so much, and I'm like,
We're not.
AI
I
can't
We're
learn
not there
fucking
yet.
shit
I
because if
will
you ask
say
Chat GPT to play chess, it doesn't know the fucking first rule of that game.
I will say that it's not just the media saying that. It's corporations also saying
It
that.
is okay, yeah.
So
Like
like
even like Elon Musk and all these other people who like, okay, clearly your AI is not that great. Look at your self-driving cars.
yeah,
Never
and a
mind.
whole
Sorry.
thing just came out about that too where it's like it's really good in like some cities because it's like there was like some other thing that was happening. It was being accelerated by human input. There was another thing. I think it was the Amazon shopping thing where some months ago it came out that it was like all AI. You shopped around. No, it was a bunch of people in India watching you shop and like doing the app shit for you. Like
Oh,
it
interesting.
it
Okay.
is literally wild how companies will try to hide what actually is being done. I think I was telling you, Kevin, but like when this first started, before Genesis and Destinoto got here, that my company a year ago was like, the CEO was like, "Yeah, we're not into AI. It's not very secure. We don't care for it. We'll probably not use it." And within the last
Hmm.
few months, it's been implemented in some things. Um, on our main website at work that we have to go to, the it's like our hub. um there's now an AI assistant that we can go into to ask questions, so it can pull up, like if you don't understand a process, it will search like our procedures, and it will tell us, like it'll give you like, hey, these procedures might help you. And everybody so far is like, this is great, it's a better search tool for this. But I was also telling Kevin that the AI, the a thing they set it up for, was to like scan certain documents so that people don't have to scan each individual document. They basically get put in and then it sorts it through this giant vault thing. Not important. Um, and what it did was it did all of that, and then it took all that information, and then it took it. It's like from one bank client, it took that information and it sent it to a different bank client because it got confused. So then my company is currently dealing with an issue where uh, one of the banks found out that we work with their competitor, and they have told that competitor that they have some of their information. And now both of them are very upset. And the CEO, we have a whole meeting tomorrow, and he's going to definitely address that, to be like, hey, AI does still have some learning to do. But there has been places at my job where it has helped a lot. Like there's a lot of
Hmm.
things where you'd have to do something manually over 600 times, and now it's batch printing things, so now it'll just generate a file. Sometimes you still have to go in, but it's getting better every week, and it's really improved, and it just made the process so much better. And it frees us to do a lot more things. And um, there's a couple things that are outsourced, and right now the quality isn't there, so it's looking like those things are going to come back in house. So it's actually improving us enough where we're actually getting work back from it being outsourced, because somehow
Right.
they're like the price is not worth the quality that they're currently getting on some stuff. After they did a
That's good.
test with AI to figure out the quality, and the AI failed the test so bad that they then had to put like a 6-person team to look into what the AI was doing, but they had to get a quality team to look into what those people were doing. So it was literally an outsourced team doing some work, AI checking it, a 6-person team checking the AI, and then a quality team checking what the 6-person team did, checking what the AI did, checking what the outsourced people did.
Sounds a
And
bit
Yep.
redundant.
it's so redundant sounding, and things are still getting fucked up. So it's wild. It's absolutely wild. It's just that whole process needs to be reworked. I don't know anything about it, if I'm honest, but it's just very funny. When somebody was telling me about that, I was like, this is the funniest story I've ever heard in my entire life. Because it's literally insane. Like how much quality check has to go into something that has been quality checked 3 separate times. So yeah, AI again, it's taken over in other places, but the way my CEO talks now, he's like, yeah, AI is going to replace a lot, and then he always talks about like it won't replace your jobs, but we'll always find something for you guys. And then I think I told Kevin too that somebody asked the CEO like, do you think it could ever replace your job? And he said, no, my job's too complicated. So, which is
No.
super funny, because Kevin, you had the comment of like AI is always thinking, so but it's
I
exactly
mean,
what it could do.
that's the thing is like you always hear from like CEOs or like people who are high up in a company like, oh yeah, we're gonna implement AI and blah blah blah, and like it's just gonna take away like all the lower jobs and stuff like that. But when you really think about it, AI is a computer program. What were computers originally made for? Math and patterns. No.
Mhm.
AI is going to replace your marketing team, your CEO, your president, because it can analyze patterns and marketing a lot faster than anyone else can.
Should we have a AI for our U.S. president? Because I think it'll do a better
Oh my
job.
God, it'd be so much better than what we have right now, I'll tell you that.
Please, I think it'd be great.
All
I want
hail
AI as our president. That would be
Deep
amazing.
Blue
I'd
or
vote.
whatever the friggin'
I'd
hell it
vote.
was.
I would multiply my votes for every single vote I can
Oh my
possibly do and
God,
just get
if
AI in
Okay,
there.
hold
Watson
on.
was frickin' our president, that'd be amazing.
I'll
Watson
tell
has
you. I'll
a
tell you
dreamy
right.
voice.
I'll tell you right now. If AI was up for like a presidential candidate, let's say it's a third party candidate, because Democrats
Mhm.
and Republican actually unite on something, and they go, "Hey, no, we can't let AI win." I guarantee you, 2% of the population is going to vote for a guy named Al.
Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna see AI and be like, "Oh, that's AL. Okay, I'm gonna vote for him. AL. He seems like a good guy."
Ah,
Yep.
I guarantee
I
that.
see.
And that makes me go, it doesn't matter who's in charge of that.
Now here's the interesting thing. All right, let's say AI ran for president. Does AI also rig the election? Oh,
Well,
Oh.
then no, well, well, an election's never really been rigged before, unless it was a local
no,
election. But
but like it's AI and like it's got all the systems. It knows what running for president is all about. Knows how the electoral college works in theory.
I mean,
Isn't that what our current candidates are supposed to know about anyway?
Uh, our current candidates for different political positions who will go unnamed, also said we're going to pass a law that makes it so that U.S. citizens or non-U.S. citizens can't vote for president. All right, this happened months ago.
Ah, so a good
Never
20% of
mind,
the
that's already in
population.
the Constitution.
say a good 20% of the population.
More? Less?
What?
I'm asking you, more or less. I clearly have the wrong statistic.
I'm just, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I mean, all right. I'll give you an answer. As far as
Broken
Republicans are concerned, as far as
Oh,
Republicans and their statistics are concerned, yes, 20% of the population. As far as like the
shit.
real numbers, probably like 7%, if that.
Oh,
Because let me tell you,
God.
if there's one thing that politicians can't get right, it's statistics.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a politician because I'd be a damn good one with the amount of statistics I pull out of my ass. Yeah, guys, 50% of the population wants a wall built around China. That's exactly what we need.
Honestly, if someone in like a political position just went ahead and said that, you'd probably have like 30% of the U.S. believe them, and that'd be pretty close to 50% already. Then you just got to convince 20% more people.
Guys, Christ was born in a well, and he's the actual ring girl. I'd
Like
convince
that, I'm
90% of
serious
the
though. Like that's
population
the
that was
wild
true.
thing is that like you could come out and say like, hey, 50% of the U.S. wants to wall around China, and like you would get so many people who'd be like, oh yeah, I'm behind that. Yeah, I'm part of that 50%. Yeah, you just made that 50%. Thanks. Like I threw this statistic out there right out of my ass, but then the people of the country make it true. Wild.
Well, I'm going to make it even more true because the wall's already built. It's called the Great Wall of China.
No,
That wall didn't even work.
It doesn't matter. There's a wall. I'm making 100% of the
It's great.
population believe that the wall is supposed to be there.
Oh.
Okay, so
Oh.
I pulled up some statistics about immigrants, just so we can um just so we can understand. There's about there's about 11 million unauthorized immigrants estimated in the United States.
So that's
Oh
like
my God, was I
2%.
right with 7?
Now it's closer to well, it's 23% of immigrants in total in the U.S. But it's apparently around 13%, which is up since 1990. In 1990 it was
What?
3.5%.
13%.
Kevin, I'm just reading you what's on here.
Cool.
So
3%
that's
is the real number.
just reading what's on here.
I'm not calling you out. I'm calling the article out.
Call me out, please.
You said 11 million, right?
Yeah,
Or
11 million.
undocumented?
Yep.
Okay.
Or
I'm pretty sure the
unauthorized
United
immigrants.
States. Oh, unauthorized. Okay, so maybe they're referencing two different
Because
things.
there's
But
lawful permanent residents. That's 11.5 million, and then naturalized citizens at 23.4 million.
oh, they're combining all the numbers for 13%. Okay.
Correct. Yeah,
Unauthorized
immigrants
ones,
make up
okay.
about 14.3% of the nation's population. Unauthorized immigrants represent 3.3%. Kevin, you're correct.
There it is. Boom. Yeah, because
So,
there's 330
not
million people in the United
not quite the number you said, Genesis. Not quite the number you said.
States.
It's alright. I can make people believe that.
Yeah, no, I know you can, because people, just don't
Well,
look
looks
things
like in
up
the
for some
Republican Party
reason.
right now. Yeah.
Hey, crime's up. Don't look at any statistic. Crime's up.
I'll make you believe crime's down by committing a crime right in front of
Heads
you.
down, crimes up.
Hands down, crime's up.
Hey,
Oh my
this is
God.
crazy. And I just met you, but crime's really high now. And
Crime's
this
You
is
down.
don't got the
crazy.
last side? Or you don't got the last words? Alright, fine. Last line, that's the one. This was a good discussion. You went
Mm-hmm.
places with this. Alright. Destinoto got freaking passionately involved.
He also got really passionate about
Wild.
a toilet for some reason. I don't know what the hell happened there. I will say,
I'll tell
as I
you.
was reading, there was a point where Kevin asked a question and then Genesis started talking, and I was like, I don't think that was the answer to the question. And then it just kept going, and I was like, oh, okay. But then he tied it back in, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, what did I?
I don't know.
Kevin wasn't listening, so.
You always making up
It's
stuff
not
about
that
me.
I ask a question, but like if I'm not looking for a specific answer, like I really wasn't looking for a specific answer. I was just getting the ball rolling, and the ball was clearly rolling. So
It's funny
I was like,
because
all right.
like Kevin will be like, "What's 2 + 2?" and Genesis will be like, "Well, it's happening a lot, especially where I work right now with phones, where Apple is doing that, and then they put out something and they're clearly behind Android, but Apple people don't care, so 4." And I'm like, you know what? He got there, so I gotta be like, it tied in. So sometimes it's just you always relate things to what you know, which is very interesting, which a lot of people don't do. A lot of people have trouble like relating things to what they actually know. They'll just talk out their ass. But you bring it to you turn it into something you know and then answer the question. It's admirable, I'll say.
I talk out my ass.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
Kevin
it
talks
makes
use
out
sense
his
my
by
ass
ass.
to
the end.
speak.
I hope it makes sense by the end of the conversation.
You ever hear
Glad
echo
you don't mean
chamber?
like
That's
that.
Kevin talking out of his ass.
Oh, it's big in there. Got a whole bunch of shit that I shoved up there. Oh,
I was really waiting for
okay.
Destinoda to say flush it or something.
Just shouts out flush it.
That's his catchphrase now. What are you eating? Strawberries,
Yep.
ice cream, walnuts?
Cherries.
There it is.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're all set with the AI thing. Anybody want to talk about anything else? Any other topics? Topics? Top picks?
Top picks.
I don't know. I got
Number
stroke there for a
13,
second.
Burger King foot lettuce.
I'm guessing we're not getting Concord
No.
because
Um,
that did not do well.
Probably not. I don't think we're going to be investing any money into Concord.
I don't know
I
if anybody's gonna be investing money into that
I
game.
will
Like,
say,
oof.
was anybody surprised by how bad it
No,
did on PC?
no.
Like, I saw like 2
Not
articles
particularly.
about it. And then I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I think the game will still do okay for PlayStation. Because I don't think they're I don't think they're gonna. I don't think PlayStation is being like this is the one that's gonna be a big hit for us. I think they know that it'll either come out and do okay, or it'll come out and then be a hit over time, or it'll just disappear. Because they said they're not expecting all of their live service games to be hits. And when this eventually comes to Plus in probably December or so, um, we'll probably try it out. But like, I don't.
Yeah, but then why buy Firewalk?
Did they buy Firewalk?
I thought they did. I read it in an article. I don't know. It could be wrong.
I don't remember if they bought Firewalk or if they just partnered with them.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second.
I thought it was. Somebody said that like it was what you call it?
Oh
It
yeah,
might
they
have
did in
not been an article.
2023.
Okay. I was gonna say there was something, an article or somebody's comment that referenced like, oh, Sony liked what they saw coming out of
Yeah,
Firework and said we want that, bought it,
yeah.
and I'm
It's
like,
they
you
partnered with
liked
them
it?
at first, and then they were like, "Let's buy it." Honestly, I think they do because I think they were like, "This looks like an Overwatch, and we think people are gonna like this." And they're again, it's not bad, and we walked away going, "Yeah, if that was free, that would probably have a chance." And it's like there's something there, and
Mm-hmm.
I see why you would want to invest in Firewalk or work or whatever they're called. Firewalk, I don't know, I don't remember. I just looked it up and I
Firewalk,
already
yeah.
forgot.
Fireflies.
Like I get like why you would invest in that, but at the same time, like I don't think anybody looked at that game and was like, "Holy shit, that's gonna be making gangbusters." I don't know any single person who owns a PC that knew Concord was having a beta over the last
Nope.
weekend. I literally don't
It
know a
hasn't been
single person.
marketed. Yeah.
So I found that surprising. I'm going to guess that it did the beta on PlayStation was pretty good. Like I'm gonna guess that a lot of players tried it out. Like not a crazy amount, but I'm gonna guess a chunk
Less
of
than
players tried it
10K.
out. Is that a guess?
I would say less than 10K.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say I don't know. I'd say maybe 40,000.
I don't
That would be
think
my
we
guess.
had so many games where the same people were in it. I think it was less than 10K. I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than 5K.
So I think by the way they go with like people who downloaded it, I would say 40,000 is
Okay.
probably where it's at. Like people who actually played for a little bit, probably around 10K. Um,
Like, nobody wants this game. You're not marketing this game right. No one gives a shit about a narrative in a 5v5 competitive shooter. You have no roadmap. I don't know. It's weird.
I wouldn't say nobody gives a shit. I would just say it's a very niche group of people. You could basically say nobody. Actually, never mind. I take that back. There's too many loading screens. It takes
There
too
is a
long.
lot. Yeah.
Like we talked about our Concord impressions and stuff, and I wish them all the best, and I hope it works out, and I hope everybody's like, "Wow, this game's
It's
crazy," but like,
There's a good
it
game
ain't.
in there. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
There's a very good game in there.
As long as the game does better than Suicide Squad, I think we'll be okay. As
honestly,
long
its
as
peak
anything
might have
does
been
better,
higher than Suicide Squad.
yeah, as long as it does better than as long as anything does better than Suicide Squad, we should be fine.
It's not fine enough though. Like here's the thing. Here's where why I continue to bring up Concord and why it makes me so mad. Because like there's a good game there, all right, and it just sucks that Firewalk is like not handling this well at all to like try to actually turn any kind of profit out of this. They're probably not going to. And then what? Goodbye? Like they have cool ideas in this game. I want to see where this is headed. But now it's got to actually be given the chance, and it's really not being set up to have a shot in hell against all the already established franchises out there. Like 5v5 hero shooters are not rare. There's so many. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're all called because mostly it's just Overwatch and like Apex Legends. Well, Apex Legends isn't 5v5, but like Overwatch, Rogue Company. Um, those are the only two major players. I know there's more for
For
Gundam Game,
live
which is dead
service.
now. No, for 5v5 hero shooters.
Oh,
Valorant. Um, anyway, like you can't market. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't market a game like this on a narrative and oh hey look it's a 5v5 shooter. You have to be like here's what makes our game great. Like here's why you
yeah,
play our game. It's
yeah.
kind of like if we go way back to when I played the beta of or one of the betas of Project Cold War from the World of Tanks people, and I'm like I don't know how you market this game. Like it's not a 5v5 shooter. There's more people on a team than that, not by much. But like how do you market? Oh man, you like playing Overwatch? Now drive a tank and do the same fucking thing. Like, how do you market a game like this? It's a cool idea. It's a great game, but like, okay, so you're gonna like appeal to the World of Tanks players that like don't want to take it as seriously as World of Tanks. Sure, okay, you got like 3K people, and then how do you get anyone new into this game? But hey, who knows? Maybe they got something planned. They got a month ish.
Yeah, Yeah, they
Going
got
back to the
something.
drawing board, guys. We're
Doesn't
gonna fix
sound so
everything up in a month.
hopeful.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Am I
Hey,
wrong?
man, listen.
I
Maybe
don't
AI
I
can
don't
come
know
in
if
and
you're
help
wrong.
them.
I
Okay.
I don't
Maybe
I
Al will come in and help.
yeah, I don't know if you're wrong, Kevin. I don't want to say I hope you're wrong, but I want to be any game that comes out. I want to be like, oh fuck, I was wrong. I gotta play this. That's how I feel about games now. Just be like, fucking sell it to me. Convince me that I'll like you, and then I'll play you. But after
Right.
playing Concord, I feel satisfied with what I played. I think there was a mistake separating the betas. I think that was a mistake. I think they should have
Oh,
for
interesting.
one
Okay.
weekend,
Okay.
it should have been PlayStation and PC. Since you are literally doing a day and date release, I don't know why you would separate them into two separate weeks, but you could still play on PlayStation that first week. Like you should have capitalized on that.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't get why you would separate that. And if it's successful and you need more in time to run it, then you spread it out over 2 weeks. Maybe they couldn't launch
There's
simultaneously on both, then that makes me concerned for the actual launch. Like
Yeah, the only reason I can think of, because this is not the only game that does this either. Like there are a lot of companies that do multiple different betas for different
yeah.
platforms. The only thing I can think of for this is back end testing, because then you only have one infrastructure you're looking at and saying, all right, what's going to break? Let's fix it. All right, now let's move on to consoles. What's going to break here? As opposed to, all right, crossplay, all network shit, throw it all in there, and then like everything breaks, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Then at that point, what I would say is after that showcase, they should have been beta live this weekend or something. Like they should have been more prepared with how they're rolling this out. Like you're saying they need to have a roadmap. I don't even think they have a roadmap for how they're pushing this game out there because the marketing
True.
is terrible. Like it's literally terrible. I do think that if you tell people like there's a narrative, that's one of the reasons you come back for. I think some people will be like, wow, that's an interesting idea. I don't think it's a selling point, but I think it's like, hey, they're actually putting work into this game. That means they're going to do other updates to it. That means it's going to be supported for a bit, so I might as well bite the bullet and get this. I I I was the defender of the $40, and as time has gone on, I've been like, okay, maybe $40
Hmm.
is too steep of a price. I think
Hmm.
they could still charge for it if it was like $10 or $15, like
Oh yeah.
which is such a small amount to pay for the quality of game that you're getting, and I think it's still a good enough jumping point into yeah, this we still think this is worth money, but like we
Maybe
don't
twenty
want that.
dollars.
Yeah, even
Hmm.
20. I think 20 is honestly still
Yeah.
pushing it, if I'm honest. Um, but I think there's a lot of things they could have done. I don't understand why Sony is not pushing this as much as possible. Um, but at the same time, I do understand because I think Sony has already realized like this is definitely not going to be a day one. Holy shit! Helldivers 2, here we go. They're
Hmm.
hoping that over time it grows. And I could totally see this game growing over time after updates and like people being like, holy shit, this is actually like getting real good and the price is lower. Like I could see Sony doing that. Um but at the same time I could also see this game fading into existence. Like
Hmm.
are, are the cutscenes going to make it to the end of the year? I don't think so. Based on everything I'm seeing so far. Like,
Hmm.
will the game go free to play by the end of the year? Probably. Like, will they eventually have a roadmap? 50-50 if I'm honest. Um yeah, I don't know. I just Concord is such a unique thing for me where it's like I should be one of the people who want this cuz I'm a diehard Sony guy. Apparently I play their multiplayer games now. Um
Oh,
I don't know
really?
how. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Um, so,
if they
so like,
announced
convince me. Come on. Then they
yeah,
haven't, and it's
if
not even close.
if they announced co-op PvE in any capacity in this game, I'd be giving some a much more serious thought.
If there was a co-op, like not story mode, but like co-op PVE where
Like
you can go through
raids
the
or
cutscenes,
whatever.
yeah, or like you can go through
Hmm.
like the cutscenes and you can kind of it not so much a story mode, but like a mission mode or something. Like
Hmm.
I'd be all for that. I'd be like, oh, this kind of cool. Like, okay, maybe this is something. But like, I am not interested in playing competitively with other players because by the time we got to Sunday on that beta, everybody was already better than me at that point. I mean, I was still doing okay. Um, Actually, we had some solid rounds on Sunday too. We were fucking
We had
crushing it.
some really good
Yeah, we
rounds.
had some
Yeah.
really
Oh
good
yeah.
rounds. I also played Overwatch. So I've at this point I've now put some hours into that type of game, but
Yeah.
at any point I could just download Overwatch, go back right into that, and just be like,
But like, I
yeah.
mean, here's the thing for like, I don't know, at least for like me, in betas and stuff for games like this, I'm just like, let me try it all out. Let's play around. I'm not trying to like get better necessarily. I might get better just being like, oh, I'm not supposed to play this character like this. I'll try playing it like this. But like, I'm not sitting there being like, all right, I'm gonna get real good on this one character. There are other people who did that. Like there were people who were level freaking like 19 and 20 and like on day one.
Yeah.
Um, where it's like I already know, okay, but it's just a beta. Like why would I play it that much? I just want to experience as much of the game as I can and formulate an opinion on whether this is worth my time or not.
See,
Um,
in games I find my play style almost immediately because I know exactly who I am, and then I play that,
okay, okay.
as I
See,
did with that
I'm
healer guy.
too, yeah.
In Helldivers,
So
how
you,
I've worn the same armor and used the same weapon since day one, basically. Like, I've literally had the same stuff since I was like level 7
yep.
or 6. Yeah, it's like I know who I am. I know how I play. I'm never gonna get better. I'm good at what I do. Like I know what I
Yeah.
can do. I know my limits most of the time. But like I'm not one of those people who are like Genesis when we play Helldivers. He'll put on different outfits. He'll change his weapons, and even though he
Hmm.
just used one gun like 2 games ago, he's gonna try it out on this map because maybe it's a little different for some reason. I don't know. I don't get that logic. But
Listen, it's
meanwhile,
different. Okay, I have different thoughts.
I know. Meanwhile, I'm like Punisher, impact grenade,
Hmm.
like grenade pistol. I switched that recent, like not. I mean, now it's not recently
Hmm.
anymore, but like
Right.
every so often something gets changed. But I'm doing the same things over and over. Like I know who I
Over
am.
and over again.
I think about it over and over again. Being with him. I just want to play Astrobot at this point. You know what I mean?
All
I hear you. Astrobot's good.
Yeah, it
right.
is. Yeah, it is.
Anything else? We've hit 1 o'clock.
Wow.
All right. Let's wrap it up for tonight. And next week we'll be doing game scores and impressions of more First Descendant. Uh,
Our
end of the month
anniversary,
next. Yes, it is our anniversary as well next week.
I think,
Um,
somewhere around there.
Congratulations.
end of the month for next week as well. And yeah, I'll also be executing Death Note live on stream, so tune in for that.
Oh my god! What the fuck did he do?
Nothing. We're
What
just
did I do, man?
we're executing him, meaning like we're helping him execute better.
I don't think so.
Is he an AI?
Yes, he is an AI.
Hmm.
All right, well, Destinato, get excited
Computing.
for your execution. Whether that means your skills or your
Computing.
life, you'll figure it out next week.
All right.
Computing.
Well, with that, this is Crafting a Jet signing off. You can
Computing.
always catch us on twitch.tv/craftingachet.
Computing.
YouTube.com/starting too late with 2 R's, and catch us every Tuesday 10:30. I know we were late today, but it is every Tuesday 10:30. And
Hey,
take care,
we
folks.
weren't late. We're
Go
here
vote
for
for AI for the presidential election. Please don't vote anybody else. Just vote AI. That's who we've
you.
got
Oh
to
my
win.
God, yes.
Al. Look for Al in that presidential ballot. Take care,
Commander.
I'm
folks.
glad you went
Bye
from
now.
not understanding that joke to using it too many times. I appreciate that. I appreciate that sense of humor. Keep it up. You beautiful, beautiful son of a bitch.